Washington, the block George, and Washington in the buff, sandwiching the buff numbers. And just about set to go. Ohams to tip it away, wins it into the backcourt, ripped away by Freeman. And senior day is off and running from the Rose Hill Gym. George Washington starts at first. James Bishop, second in the A-10 in scoring at 17 points a game, right of the lane. Left arc for Ricky Lindo, ball held above his head. Opening set for George Washington, ninth in the A-10 in scoring. Straight on Freeman, crossover, head of the key, spin, stop at the free throw line, fall away, back heel and off, left block board, Abdou Simbila. Rams to work on offense for the first time, 79 points a game over their last two. They had been held under 57 in the previous six. Straight on Chuba Ohams, set of the key, far corner pass, Rose, the three, deflected away. Out through the far sideline, the good closeout by Joe Bamisil.
And this defense, they're second in the A-10 in three-point defense, top 30 in the nation. So you see right there the quick closeout on Kyle Rose, who thought he would be open for that catch-and-shoot corner three.
This a GW defense that does not grade out terribly well, 12th in the A-10 in points allowed. Opponents shooting 44% on the season, but as Ryan mentioned, it is that three-point defense that has allowed them to find the success. Left block, double team, Simbila with two to shoot. Quisenberry, the pump fake left arc. They didn't get a shot away, and Fordham turns it over.
And very good defense from GW, but something that we just saw, Abdou Simbila getting doubled. I don't know if we've seen that throughout the season. If you talked about that earlier in the year where he was as a player, you'd have not expected that to come. So good start for the Colonials.
Simbila, the season high 10 points last time around against UMass. Float straight away out of the double team. Lindo, the left of the lane drive, dump off. And now roaming near side Hunter Dean. Lindo, the shoulder high possession with 12 to shoot. The dump left block knocked away by Josh Colon-Navarro. James Bishop couldn't get a handle on it. George Washington with possession left of the goal, inbound, 10 to shoot, no score. A minute 20 seconds in, first half. Bounce for Lindo, near corner, guarded by Ohams. Hip pocket possession, Bishop the lefty floater. Front rim and off, Simbila, a second early rebound, left block. Chuba Ohams into the front court, left arc. Lindo the defense, backing down, near side of the key, the shoulder. And now drawing the left block double team. Ohams set to give it up. Left arc, Colon-Navarro's three. It's good. Josh Colon-Navarro off the feed from Chuba Ohams, who's got 10 assists in his last two games. And sets up the Fordham bucket to get them on the board. 3-0, 2 minutes in. Lindo elevating, Simbila rejecting, falling to the floor, and a foul call.
And Coach Neptune and this whole staff does not like that call, waving their hands in the air. It appeared Simbila did lead with them, but the refs thought otherwise.
Kyle Neptune can't believe it along that far sideline. Simbila, who Kyle Neptune has repeatedly praised as one of the top interior defenders that Fordham has really seen him grow as a freshman, getting more experience, and called for a tough one there. Lindo off left rim on the first.
And Lindo is a guy, really jack of all trades kind of player, top 10 in the conference in steals and blocks, only player in those categories. Also shoots the three ball pretty efficiently at 37%.
Averaging 8 and 8 on the season, 7.5 and 7 in his last four, and he's 0 of 2 from the free throw line. Right block rebound, Ohams. Fordham in front 3-0. Just over 2 minutes in. Rose right arc, stop head of the key, shovel, Ohams, two-handed clutch. The ball movement, Ohams the slam, and Fordham a 5-0 lead. 2.5 minutes in, first half. Straight away, Lindo, heels on the block F portion of the logo. Dean to a cutting Freeman, possession poked away, claims it near side. Bamisil right arc with 15 to shoot. The swipe by Quisenberry on the blow-by, and a foul called on Darius Quisenberry, his first, and Fordham second.
Fordham ramping up that full court pressure there. It allowed Darius Quisenberry to be just a step behind. By the time he caught up, he used his hands, and that's where the whistle came against him.
Quisenberry will check out to the Fordham bench. Antrell Charlton on, 2.5 minutes in. Fordham a 5-0 lead. Head high possession, curling around Dean for Bamisil, head of the key, guarded by Charlton. Inside, swiped away, possession through the baseline, and Fordham forces the turnover. Joe Bamisil, 7th in the Atlantic 10 in scoring at 16 points a game, has 20 plus in 4 of his last 5. turned it over there.
And really good energy for Fordham out of the gate on both ends of the floor. We see them come out with fire a lot, this time especially.
3 minutes in first half, 5-0 Fordham. Curling Rose left arc, shut off by Bishop. Between the legs dribble. Bounce near side, Ohams to the lane. Cross-court pass, far corner, jab step Charlton. The baseline drive, bounce center of the paint. Floater by Simbila, in and out. Right block board, secured by Hunter Dean and George Washington. Colonials have started 0 of 2 from the field. Elevating Dean, gets it in off the glass. The junior averaging 5 and 6, has posted 7 and 8 over his last 12 games. Against GW off the schneid this afternoon. 5-2 Fordham, approaching 3.5 minutes in first half. Near corner kick, Rose, wide open three. It's good. Kyle Rose wide open from the near side. Fordham has started 3 of 5 from the field and 2 of 3 from downtown. They lead at 8-2, 4 minutes in. Freeman, A-10 stamp stop. His 5-foot floater rolls in. Rayon Freeman, the team leader in assists, one of 3 Colonials, averaging double figures. It's 8-4 Fordham, 4 minutes in. And
Freeman, he's the guy that will push it, so he's someone, we talked about him struggling last time out, but the way he matches up against this defense is in the Colonials' favor.
Left arc bounce, Cologne Navarro for Ohams along the baseline. A foul will go to George Washington with Ohams backing down to the basket. It's the first on Ricky Lindo and GW's first to send us to our first timeout. Fordham 8, George Washington 4. 15:58 on the first half clock. Down to the sidelines with Thomas Aiello, who caught up with Abdou Simbila pregame.
I have been more comfortable with the team, you know. Like, see, like, the coaches gave me more trust in the play, you know what I'm saying? And I think, like, you know, just going hard every practice, you know, and just believe in myself and getting better. It's a process, you know what I'm saying?
You started the last 11 games, about to be the last 11 games. How much confidence has been instilled in you by this coaching staff, and how have they helped you build that as the year has progressed? Like, what's been some of the key things they've been telling you all the time?
I mean, they've been telling me that I have to be a monster every time I get on the floor, you know. Be out there, play hard as I can, you know, give everything I have for my teammate. So my first thing when I get on the floor is just to play defense, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about offense. I know when I get in there, it's to play defense the hardest I can, you know.
I'm pretty sure Abdou Simbila is one of the few people I've talked to in my life that actually enjoys playing defense. In the last 10 games since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, Fordham is 5-5, and he's averaging 5 points, 5 rebounds, a block per game, and shooting 46% from the field. And today here against George Washington, Fordham looking to avenge their previous trip down to the nation's capital when they lost this game, and he's going to come out and have to be aggressive on the defensive end in order for Fordham to pull a victory out here on Senior Day.
Thanks, Tom. Fordham 8, George Washington 4. 4 minutes in first half. The Rams have started 3 of 5 from the field. A couple of threes. Kyle Rose and Josh Cologne Navarro. The pace in a controllable spot for Fordham, and the ball movement has been excellent early.
It's for sure in a comfortable spot. We've seen them come out and try to match other teams, but they're not doing that here. And a bit of a surprise because GW, what they do, they defend the 3, but inside 250th in 2-point defense. They've switched up the game plan. They've gotten some great looks. Kyle Rose and Josh Cologne Navarro both catch and shoot, both wide open. Those are the last 2 guys, if you're an opponent, you want to leave open for Fordham, so you give them credit for finding spots for them to succeed.
And something to watch for this afternoon. George Washington second in the Atlantic 10 in tempo, a top 100 mark nationally. Straight on Charlton, the 3. Front rim and off, left block board for Hunter Dean. Another open look from long range for the Rams. Rayon Freeman walking it into the front court, right of the lane, fall away, right elbow, in and out. Ohams, the restricted area, elevation for the rebound. Fordham 8, George Washington 4. 4.5 minutes in first half. Charlton coming off the bench for the first time in conference play, left of the lane, bounce Ohams, the easy roll in with the right. Dish from Charlton. Ohams a second first half bucket. Fordham by 6, 10-4. 5 minutes in first half.
And when this team is at its best, it's Antrell Charlton to Chuba Ohams.
Freeman, the dump off, blocked away by Nowitzki. Hunter Dean going up. Nowitzki sending it back. Fordham with possession into the front court. Right of the lane drive. Oham's high off the glass. Dean, the one-handed rebound. Fordham 10, George Washington 4. Just over 5 minutes in first half. Across the midline, Adams. Straight away for Hunter Dean, left elbow. Back to the basket, left to the lane drive. Dump to the right block. Elevated up. Brendan Adams left it short. The grad from Baltimore, UConn transfer. Right block rebound for Ohams. George Washington scoreless in almost 2 minutes. Ram portion of the logo. Antrell Charlton roaming left. Waist-high possession, picking up his dribble. Bounce free throw line, Ohams, defended by Dean. Right of the lane drive, flips it up. Left it off front rim, but a foul called. Chuba Ohams has been aggressive to the basket early, and he will head to the free throw line with Hunter Dean picking up his first, George Washington second.
That's exactly what you want to see if you're Fordham. You know, you want Chuba Ohams attacking the basket. You look last time out, Nick. One of the reasons they kind of fell off down the stretch, Chuba Ohams just stopped getting the ball. One shot attempt in the last 10 minutes of that game. He had it going early, then they went away from him, and they really struggled to establish an identity. So Fordham going back to him here today.
Ohams hits the first, and Fordham a 7-point lead early, 11-4. Rams will make a couple of changes. Josh Colon-Navarro and Kyle Rose will check out. Zach Riley, who has been a bigger part of the rotation recently, combined for 13 points in the last 2, will check in. Quisenberry in as well. Ohams is second, bubbles in, and Hill head to the Fordham bench with Pat Kelly coming on for the first time today.
And this bench unit, you talked about Zach Riley. I've been a real big fan of him. You know, it's not just the 13 points, it's the energy he's brought. When he's on the court, he looks like he really wants it.
Rams by 8, 12-4. 6 minutes in first half. GW has started 2 of 7 from the field. The left arc curling around straight on Brendan Adams. Shovel at the free throw line. Bishop right arc guarded by Charlton. Baseline drive. The adjustment left off left rim. But a foul called as Bishop falls to the floor attacking the basket. James Bishop, third in the A-10 with 18 points a game in conference play. Looking to get through some struggles recently. Will head to the free throw line.
And one of the things we always talk about with Fordham, Nick, is how good they are at taking away your top option. Well, James Bishop, he did not do that last time out. We've talked about him having 25. You know, he's still 0 for 1 in this game, just hit the first free throw. But he's obviously someone Fordham's going to put a ton of attention to try to slow down. Bishop
had averaged 12 points a game on 27% from the field in his last 5 before scoring 23 against Duquesne last time out, but had just 4 in regulation in that 3 overtime thriller for George Washington. Hits a pair. GW trails by 6. Quisenberry headed the key jumper. In and out. Right block rebound batted for Dean and George Washington. Bishop out and running. Stop left elbow. The pull-up is good. James Bishop, the transition J. And Fordham has a 4-point lead, 12-8, 13:30 to go first half.
And what we know about Bishop, even if Fordham does a good job of containing efficiency numbers, he's always going to get his shots up, taking transition for the pull-up too.
Quisenberry, center of the lane surge, high off the glass, it falls in. Darius Quisenberry has his first points of the afternoon. Fordham a 6-point lead, 14-8, 7 minutes in to the first half. Quanzi Samuels walking it across the midline, the junior Florida Gulf Coast transfer. Ball held above the head of Dean. His cross lane pass deflected. Falls to Adams. Lays it in with the right. Brendan Adams averaging 8 and 4. Had 4 last time out against Duquesne. Cuts the Fordham lead to 4. 14-10. 7 minutes into the first half. Straightaway Pat Kelly defended by Samuels. The flip for Riley left arc. 15 to shoot. Nowitzki straight on jab step to a curling Quisenberry, right arc 3 Charlton. Left rim and off. It's Adams, the left block rebound for GW. Bishop into the front court, speeding. The crossover, hesitation with Riley. Right arc Samuels, handoff Bishop, drawing the double team, splitting, and a foul called on the floor. Zach Riley will pick up his first, Fordham's 4th.
And Bishop, he just commands so much attention. Whenever he has the basketball, he's a threat to shoot it. So you have to always kind of put a lot of attention on him. Zach Riley, a freshman, maybe hasn't seen a lot of these moves. He's going to come out. So when he's on Bishop, Fordham likely to bring the double.
Bishop, after scoring just 4 in regulation against Duquesne, scored more than 20 points for the first time in almost a month. Guy looks energized today. Near side 3, Lindo, left rim and off. Bishop battling for the board out through the baseline. And Fordham will have possession. Bishop got a fingertip on it. Fordham 14, George Washington 10, approaching the 12-minute mark first half. Josh Colon Navarro has got 3 points on a made field goal. Strolls and the right arc 3, Kelly, front rim and off. The long rebound, short corner. Extra possession for Fordham. Left arc, Kyle Rose with Bishop the defense. Davitsky, the screen right. Colon Navarro wheeling center of the paint with 10 to shoot. Stop at the A-10 stamp. And a push called on George Washington. The Colonials bench wanted a travel. But George Washington will pick up a foul. Quanzi Samuels has his first, and George Washington's third to send us to another timeout. 11:44 remaining first half. Fordham 14, George Washington 10. Back to our Rose Hill studios. A one-on-one scoreboard with Bridge Gotham.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Last day of the regular season in the A-10. Davidson looking to clinch the regular season title, but they trailed Dayton by 6 late in the second half. Duquesne and LaSalle, they're underway out in Pittsburgh. The Explorers in command early, up 19-14. Rhode Island taking on St. Joe's down in Philly. That one's set to tip off shortly. For more A-10 action, you can catch the tournament going from next Wednesday, March 9th through Sunday the 13th. You won't want to miss it. Over to the top 25, we got some final scores from the early slate of games. Villanova taking care of Butler, number 11 Villanova. They won by 20. Some thrillers going on in the SEC. Alabama and LSU, they are locked in overtime. LSU leads by 1 with about 30 seconds left. Arkansas trails Tennessee by 2, a minute left in that one. Finally, Auburn on top of South Carolina, the number 5th ranked Auburn, ahead by nearly 20 points. And Kentucky getting set to play Florida, they're up 9-4. Again, Florida really needs a win today to push their way into the field of 68. And some more bubble action. The Indiana Hoosiers taking on 8th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers. Indiana really needs a win as well if they're going to have a chance at the tournament. In the NBA, not much going on today. Knicks and Nets are off. And in the NHL, the Islanders getting things done, up 2-0 in the second intermission. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Bridge Gotham.
Thanks, Bridge. 11:44 to go in the first half. Fordham 14, George Washington 10 on senior day from a packed Rose Hill gym. The maroon seats surrounding the Block F logo at midcourt, the Ram logo to the left. Pretty good crowd to send off seniors Chuba Ohams and Josh Colon Navarro, with the Rams out to a 4-point lead. Fordham has started 5 of 12 from the field. George Washington 4 of 10. It's been a solid start for Fordham.
And it looks like they're both kind of feeling each other out early on. George Washington not taking the 3, and that's something I'm going to look at in this one because Fordham is very good at defending a 3, but a team that's so interior based, you wonder how Fordham can match up against them.
Cam Cunningham is checked in for Fordham. Has combined for just 6 minutes in the last 7 games. His right arc 3 off front rim. A left block rebound for GW and Brendan Adams. Striding across the midline, left arc 3. Freeman knocks it down. Rayon Freeman, the freshman, double figures in 5 straight games, averaging 13, 3, and 4. Second among A-10 freshmen in assists and assist-to-turnover ratio. And rhythm from the left arc that time. GW within 1, 14-13, 9 minutes in first half.
And just 21 threes on the season for him, but 41%. So as he grows as a player, look for him to get more aggressive beyond the arc.
Far corner Cunningham with 12 to shoot. Lindo the defense, stop right elbow. His jumper is good. Cam Cunningham falling away. First points in almost a month. And Fordham a 3-point lead, 16-13, 10:40 and ticking first half. Bishop, baseline drive, straightaway 3. Samuels is good. Quanzi Samuels, the catch and shoot off the feed from Rayon Freeman. And GW has knotted it at 16, 10.5 to go first half. Quisenberry drawing the double team. Right of the lane drive. Simbila backing down. Right block. Got it knocked away out through the far sideline. Last touched by Abdu. And George Washington will take possession. Cam Cunningham will check out. And Chuba Ohams will return back to the floor.
And just like that, GW hitting 2 threes. So after, we talked about them being interior base, they tie it up going beyond the arc.
2 of 3 from downtown early. Freeman settling right arc. Defense from Cologne Navarro. Left elbow pass on the baseline, tipped by Bishop. Rose got a fingertip on it as well out through the baseline. GW keeps it with 17 on the shot clock. All square at 16, 10:03 to go first half.
And this team, GW, they run a lot of, sets, a lot of off-the-ball motion. We've seen the cut a few times. This one, Fordham, though, they've done a good job sniffing it out and deflecting the basketball.
Left to the goal, inbound, bounce left block, fall away with the right. Bambasil left it off front rim. Right block rebound wrestled away by Abdu Simbila. Has 3 early into the front court, straight on Quisenberry. Right arc, Rose, step back 3. Too strong, left block rebound, clamped by Ricky Lindo Jr. George Washington into the front court. Right arc Bishop, the free throw line pass. Lindo deflects, has it back. Left arc 3 Samuels. Rattles in. Kwanzi Samuels averaging just 2 points and 2 rebounds a game. 6 points in the first 10 minutes this afternoon. And George Washington leads at 19-16 with their first lead today. 9:15 and ticking. Cologne Navarro windmilling center of the paint, knocked to the floor. A foul called as the ball goes out through the baseline. Cologne Navarro elevating and is thrown to the Rose Hill Gym.
And that aggression by Cologne Navarro, one of the big reasons that he's averaging 11 plus over a 12-game stretch here. But you look at him, he's only 5'10", so him attacking the basket anytime there's a big body, someone's going out hard, and it was Cologne Navarro that time.
Ricky Lindo Jr. picks up his second foul. The first for Cologne Navarro is good. Kyle Neptune mentioning pregame that a lot of the attention goes to Chuba Ohams, and for good reason, with how good he has been with Fordham this season as senior day comes along. With Josh Cologne Navarro, the heart and the toughness that he provides, the leadership in the backcourt has been something that has been so essential to laying the foundation. He is a Kyle Neptune type of player, helping Fordham grow in year one. Hits a pair, Fordham trails by 1, 19-18. Samuels to float, Dean comes down restricted area. Doesn't go up with it, far side defended by Antrell Charlton. Left arc Freeman, yo-yo dribble, Charlton defends with 12 to shoot. Lays in on the scoop, knocked away Ohams, goaltending, and the basket will count.
Ohams just a little late there to the basketball. You like the aggression at the rim, but it looked like the ball was going down there. GW now on a bit of a run.
The scoop layup for Freeman counted for goaltending, and Brayon Freeman with 7 points in this first half was held to an 8-10 play low 6 in the first time around against Fordham. GW a 3-point lead, 21-18. Oham, center of the paint drive, flips it up, plus the foul. Off the glass, Ohams hanging in the air through the contact, and Chuba a chance to tie it with a 3-point play.
And you knew just the way that he's wired, he was going to play up for this game, but the aggression early, that's been the key for him. The leading scorer in this one with 8 points.
To go with 5 rebounds already. Ohams a chance to make it 9 in a tie game. His lips out. And the left block rebound for Hunter Dean. GW into the front court. Adams, the free throw line jumper, front rim and off. Rebound pinball set of the key. Charlton with Fordham possession. The flip for Ohams, near side Cologne Navarro shot fake. Defended by Bishop. Left arc outlet, Charlton directing traffic. Left block double team, Ohams spins, going up. Got possession knocked away. Claimed by GW's Kwanzi Samuels. Bishop straight away, the edge of the block F portion of the logo. Stop A-10 stamp, fall away from 5. Front rim and off, Ohams, the right block rebound. Left arc, Cologne Navarro, the 3. Front rim and off in transition, Samuels, the baseline board.
That's not what Fordham has been this season offensively. You don't want to do that. They grind out possessions, taking a 3 early in the shot clock with contest. Colonavar, that's not typically his game either. Fordham has to be smarter.
Fordham 2 of 9 from 3. Kyle Rose into the front court off the steal, hanging in the air, blocked away by Bishop. Rose poking possession free near side, and it's run down by Brendan Adams. Into the front court, near side 3, Samuels. It is good. Quanzi Samuels, averaging 2 points a game, has 9 in this first half on 3 threes, and GW a 4-point lead, 24-20. Approaching the 7-minute mark, first half.
He has just 60 points going into this game on the air. He's nearly a sixth there in this first half.
Step back right arm, Quisenberry straight on Ohams. Dean the defense, step through, lays it in with the right. Ohams attacking the glass already into double figures with 10 and 6. Fordham within 2, 24-22 GW. Bamisil, the curling pass, bowling over Ohams, and an offensive foul. Bamisil attacking, still yet to score in this first half. And it sends us to another timeout. Fordham trying to get the offense going. Chuba Ohams balling out on senior day. 10.6 rebounds, 6:53 mark first half. GW 24, Fordham 22. You're listening to Fordham basketball on WFUV Sports. Rise and fire, right arc 3. Quisenberry knocks it down. Half-court heave. Rose gets it to go. Charlton directing traffic to float for Ohams, throws it down.
Fordham men's basketball is headed to D.C. The Rams return to the A-10 tournament in their first season under head coach Kyle Neptune. Join myself, Ryan Gregware, my partner Nick DeLuca, our on-site producer Mike Messina, and the entire WFUV Sports crew with tournament coverage for your Fordham Rams. Their exciting season comes to a close, live on 90.7 FM and YouTube.
.6:53 to go, first half from the Rose Hill Gym. GW 24, Fordham 22. Down to the third member of our crew, Thomas Aiello.
What's going on? So Kyle Neptune's last time out, very loud and very upset at Fordham's three-point defense. George Washington right now shooting 80% from long range. Guys are not getting out contesting. Coach Neptune screaming that message to his players, and he needs for them to fix that rather quickly. Otherwise, Fordham's going to be a humongous hole as we come down to the final 5 minutes here in the first half.
And Quanzi Samuels has been the catalyst from long range, a guy averaging 2 points a game coming into this one, has 9 in the first half on 3 of 3 from deep, and Fordham's got to close out a little bit better. That's where GW has made some hay.
Quanzi Samuels, just 10 threes on the year. He's a guy, he had a 12-game stretch of starting, but he was defensive first, didn't look to take shots. We've mentioned just 2 points per game. We've seen in this Fordham defense, Nick, they're willing to let guys beat them. It looks like early on it's been Quanzi Samuels, but he's 3 for 3, all wide open. You know, they've been selling out, stopping Bishop, trying to focus on other guys. But if Quanzi Samuels is going to drain these threes so effortlessly, you know, he's draining them too. He's not just making them. Fordham's going to have to switch up the defense one way or another.
And for Fordham, from long range, a 2 of 3 start. They're 1 of their last 7.
And this GW defense, they will swarm you, right? They run that mayhem. They're going to put pressure in you. They're going to be in your face at all times. Fordham's taken a few ill-advised ones. Antro Charlton's had a few open looks. He hasn't been able to get them to go. But for Fordham, keep grinding it out. Chuba Ohams inside, Nick. It's been everything in this game, already at 10 and 6. So you have to keep feeding him. And if they want to double, you can get out, you get open shooters, and that's how you start hitting your shots.
I feel like that is where the advantage is for Fordham this afternoon. Chuba Ohams, who in this first half is headed toward an 8th straight double-double with 10 and 6. At the 6:53 mark of the first half, would imagine that he will continue to be that offensive focal point. Rams start with it out of the timeout. Antro Charlton walking it across the midline. Straight away, Ohams, Ram portion of the logo. Shoulder high possession. Right arc, Quisenberry, ball fake to the drive, right baseline. Flips it up with the hesitation. Quisenberry gets it to fall on a nifty move, driving on the baseline. And Fordham mounts it at 24, 6.5 to go first half. Left block backing down Freeman. The stutter step and the underneath the basket rebound after leaving it short for Chuba Ohams.
And Antrell Charlton playing the tough defense there. We've talked about that UMass first half where he only played 3 minutes. His defense, I think, was what Fordham missed greatly when they gave up 45 to UMass.
10.7 rebounds for Chuba Ohams early. The pass deflected out through the near side by Bamasil. Rams will keep it 13 on the shot clock, 6:04 remaining first half. Fordham and GW knotted at 24. Fordham with a win can secure the 9 seed in next week's A-10 tournament. GW with a win, the 7 seed. Left arc, Quisenberry, the bounce for Ohams. Cross-court pass, Cologne Navarro with 3 and 2 to shoot. Late on the trigger, and Fordham a second shot clock violation today.
An indecisive basketball there. Josh Cologne Navarro caught between shooting it, caught between passing it, but the shot clock caught up to him. I don't know if he wasn't aware, thought he had more time, but Fordham missed a chance right there to take a shot.
Second Fordham turnover this first half. 24-24, 5:40 to go first half. Right of the lane drive, Adams, hesitation, swatted away by Ohams. Bishop, the loose ball, keeps possession, the shoulder, knocking over Rose. And Kyle Rose is called for a block, hitting the Rose Hill gym floor hard. As Rose picks up his first, it's Fordham's 5th.
And Kyle Rose, probably the best man-on-man defender, so expect him to be guarding James Bishop all throughout this one like he was on that possession.
Straight on Adams, right arm Freeman, float for Bamasil near side. His catch and shoot 3 is good. Joe Bamasil onto the board this afternoon. The guy who was held down in the first meeting between these two teams with just 6 and gives GW a 27-24 lead. Ohams, the baseline drive, rolls around and falls off. Glued to the rim, and the right block rebound, Quanzi Samuels. Freeman behind the back dribble, stop at the free throw line. Left arc Bamasil closed off by Quisenberry. Possession poked away, ripped away. Quisenberry the steal. Across the midline, pacing, stop head of the key free throw line. Contact to the shoulder. And a shooting foul called on George Washington. Quanzi Samuels picks up his second as Quisenberry leaned in to draw the foul.
And that's exactly what Darius Quisenberry can do. Get to the line, get cheap opportunities, catching a mistake by Quanzi Samuels, leading with the body there, just, feeling into it there, get the whistle, and go to the free throw line with a chance to hit 2 free throws.
Fordham scoreless in the last 147. And Quisenberry with a chance to end the drought. His first is good. 5 points in his first half for Darius Quisenberry. George Washington 27, Fordham 25. The Rams 9 of 21 from the field. George Washington 10 of 21. Quisenberry's second, front rim, bounces around and falls in. George Washington a 1-point lead, 27-26, 4:40 to go first half. Left arc Bishop. Straightaway Freeman, block F portion of the logo. Center of the paint surge. His runner blocked away by Ohams. Chuba with 3 blocks in this first half. Right of the lane drive, yo-yo dribble Rose. Float for Ohams, far side of the lane. Backing down Noel Brown. Near side pass, Riley ball fake. Left arc, Rose the give and go. 5 foot from Riley. Right block. Rebound taken for Noel Brown. Bishop, the pull-up, near side, gets it to go. James Bishop, the pull-up, the long 2 from 17. And George Washington, a 3-point lead, 29-26, 4 minutes to go first half.
And they say that's the worst shot in basketball, Nick, but when you make it, 2 points is 2 points.
Charlton to step through. Jab step, left it short. Bamasil, front court, right arc 3. In and out, Riley, the right block rebound.
You really see GW, any chance they have in transition, they're pushing it and letting it fly.
Quisenberry across the midline, Fordham slowing it down. Final 3.5 minutes first half. George Washington 29, Fordham 26. Charlton picks up his dribble, right arc, 3 for Quisenberry. Front rim and off, left block rebound for Brendan Adams. George Washington second in pace in the Atlantic 10. Straight on 3, Bishop. Front rim out, free throw line, rebound batted. Claimed by George Washington. Bamisil, free throw line, A-10 stamp stop. The righty scoop layup blocked away by Ohams. Bamisil left to the lane drive. Gets it to fall in. Make it Brayon Freeman on the drive. And George Washington a 5-point lead, 31-26. The final 3 minutes first half.
And Chuba putting so much force on that block, it actually worked to his disadvantage there, carrying back out to GW at the half-court line.
Ram portion of the logo, Charlton. Screen left from Ohams. Drawing the double team straight away. Near side, Quisenberry. 7 to shoot. The 3 is good. Darius Quisenberry, the step back near side, has 9 points in this first half. And Fordham trails by 2, 31-29. 2:25 and ticking first half. Straight on Freeman. Run into by Bamisil. Keeps possession, the float left side. Adams backing down, straight away for Brayon Freeman. Screen right, corner 3. Adams knocks it down. Brendan Adams, the catch and shoot. Another assist for Brayon Freeman. GW is now 6 of 9 from long range in this first half. A 5-point lead, 34-29 in the final 2 minutes. Near corner 3, Rose is good. Ohams off the feed, and Rose gets the 3 to fall. Fordham within 2, 34-32, 140 and ticking first half. Bishop to stop, A-10 stamp, called for a travel. James Bishop turns it over, center of the paint, and Fordham with possession. And once again, a chance to tie it up with 1:39 remaining in the first half. George Washington 34, Fordham 32. Back to our Rose Hill studios, a one-on-one scoreboard with Bridge Gotham.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Last day of the regular season in the A-10 and plenty of action thus far. Dayton taking care of Davidson at home, 82-76 the final there. We got a halftime score out from Duquesne. The Dukes trail LaSalle by 8. Rhode Island and St. Joe's just tipped off 3-3, still very early on in that one. Over in the top 25, we have some final scores for you. Number 13, Tennessee, barely edging out number 14, Arkansas, 78-74. And the final from overtime in Baton Rouge, LSU, 80-77 over the 25th-ranked Crimson Tide. And Florida trying to play their way into the field of 68, but the Gators trail number 5, Kentucky, by 13. Indiana also on the wrong side of the bubble, trailing Purdue 29-18. Later today, number 4 Duke and North Carolina square off at Coach K's final home game with the Blue Devils. And the NBA, not much to talk about. Knicks and Nets are off tonight. And finally on the ice, the Islanders getting things done. They are up 2-0 in the third period. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Bridge Gotham.
Thanks, Bridge. Appreciate you getting things done. George Washington 34, Fordham 32, 1:39 to go in the first half. And Fordham has been on the wrong end of a 3-point barrage from George Washington, 6 of 9 in the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that is something you did not expect coming into this game. Kwanzi Samuels, just 10 on the year. You look at Brendan Adams, just 24%. Those guys have been combined for 12 points, 4 for 4 from 3. Not sure you're expecting that if you're Fordham. It's up to them offensively to come out and answer that. But the job that GW has done beyond the arc, that is the story early on in this one.
And for Fordham, they haven't been able to get a lot going from long range. It's been the consistent production of Chuba Ohams drawing that attention, and that has opened things up.
And on both ends of the floor, he is getting things done, as we've been talking about. 3 blocks for him, 10 and 8 already in this one. And you looked at that last possession, driving inside, commanding that attention that allows him to kick it out to Kyle Rose. That's something we've talked about. The way that just when he is on the court, he will get a double. It sets up other guys to hit shots, and that's something if Fordham wants to, keep that answer to the 3-point, it's going to be off the assist of Chuba Ohams.
Ohams with 10, Quisenberry with 9 to lead Fordham, trailing by 2, 34-32 GW, 90 seconds remaining in the opening half. Left arc Charlton with 15 on the shot clock, roaming for Rose right arc, defended by Adams. Straightaway dribble, left arc to a curling Cologne Navarro. Float for Ohams, his jumper. Front rim and off, and it's Freeman running down the center of the paint, rebound. Transition three, Bishop. Back heel, Ohams rips away the right block rebound. Make it an 8th first half board for Chuba Ohams. GW 34, Fordham 32. Final 53 seconds of the opening half. Ram portion of the logo, left arc Ohams cutting Cologne Navarro. Pass on the baseline knocked away. Fordham will keep it as it rolls out through the baseline. 47 seconds remaining first half. 11 to shoot for the Rams.
Yeah, that play almost a taste of GW's own medicine on that cut to the basket. Any chance you can get free points under it, you take it. If you're Fordham, a good defense by GW, knocking it out.
Left to the goal, inbound, float for Ohams, far corner with 7 to shoot, drawing the double team. Cross-court pass, Riley with 5. Straight away to the goal, lays it up. It's knocked away, but a goaltending call is Zach Riley was able to walk right into the basket. Excellent vision by Ohams.
And Zach Riley coming in here, we didn't know much about him, thought he was just a three-point guy, but his ability to drive to the basket really impressed me as a freshman.
Fordham ties it, GW answers. Freeman with another pretty drive, laying it in off the glass. 36-34 GW. The final 22 seconds first half. Cologne Navarro across the midline, and a timeout called by Kyle Neptune. Brayon Freeman with 11 first half points to lead GW. And the Colonials a 2-point lead, 36-34 in the final 23 seconds of this first half. Be sure to stay tuned for the one-on-one halftime report. Brian Raybacks and Bridge Gotham in our Rose Hill studios. And our Ryan Gregware will chat with John Miller, longtime producer at ESPN. Fordham 34. George Washington in front by 2 with the final 23 seconds of this first half. And the Rams looking for that one final possession to even this thing up.
And last time they were home, remember that half ended, right? Kyle Rhodes drilling the half-court shot there, gave them some momentum to go into the second half. They took care of UMass in that second half. So for Fordham, this last possession to go into that locker room, to head to the tunnel with a lead would be key. And I think you just look at how they've played thus far. They haven't really, tried to play at GW's level, pushing the basketball. They've stuck to their offense, and it's worked thus far. It's just the defense really what it's going to come down to.
Foot in front of the midline, Charlton. Back to the basket. Bamisil, the defense, with 12 on the game clock. Shot clock turned off. Free throw line bounce, Ohams with 9 and with 8. Right block drawing the double team. 6 and 5. Center of the paint stop. Flips it up. Too strong. Charlton the follow off right rim. Freeman the loose ball to close out the opening half. Fordham a couple of good looks. Couldn't tie it. And George Washington heads to the halftime locker room with a 36-34 advantage after 20 minutes of play. Chuba Ohams nearing a first half double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds, and another 4 assists, while Brayon Freeman paces the way for George Washington with 11 in the first half. Kwanzi Samuels had 9, averaging just 2 points a game coming in. Back to our Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one halftime report.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Thank you, Nick, and welcome into the one-on-one halftime report as Fordham trails George Washington by a score of 36-34. I'm Brian Ray. I should be joined alongside Bridge Gotham in a little bit. Good first half of action at the Rose Hill Gym. Fordham trails just by 2 as they look to get a victory on senior day for their senior class. They trail just by 2 points. Chuba Ohams has had a really good first half, almost getting another double-double to his notch. 10 points, 9 rebounds, as Nick just mentioned, as Ohams, one of the seniors being honored today, having a big performance once again. Darius Quisenberry, 9 points for the Rams as he's getting hot at the end of the second half. And a big day for the Fordham Rams as they look to get a win on senior day and also lock up a higher seed in the A-10 tournament. Fordham can finish anywhere between the 8 seed and the 10 seed in the A-10 tournament, so definitely important to lock up a win and ultimately get the Rams up to 500. They're one game below 500 now at 14 and 15.
of getting a 500 record would be huge and cap off a very impressive season under Kyle Neptune for the Fordham Rams. It's been a great action of basketball so far. George Washington has shot very well from beyond the arc. They're 6 of 10, shooting 60% from three-point field. Brian Freeman, you mentioned him, 11 points. He's been having a terrific first half, and it's been a very productive first half beyond the arc for the George Washington Colonials. But the Rams are hanging in there. They're just down by 2 points, and we'll see how they answer in the second half. So we'll have more halftime insight in a bit. But for now, we'll send it back to the Rose Hill Gym, where Ryan Gregware will be joined by longtime ESPN radio producer and WFUV alum, John Martin.
Thanks, Brian. We're back here on the one-on-one halftime report, and as he talked about, we are joined with John Martin, former senior director and executive producer for ESPN, WFUV Sports alum as well. John, Chief Martin, as they call you, thank you so much for taking some time with us.
Hey, Ryan, my pleasure.
So I want to start off with your Fordham experience. It's very interesting when you talk about with other WFUV guys what they did here, how that helped them in their career. So what was your experience at Fordham like, part of this program?
Well, my first experience was as actually having a little bit of an association with the 1970-71 varsity. I was on the freshman team, and that was the team that varsity went 26-3, ended up ranked 9th in the country. We used to scrimmage them every day. 2 of the players on that team, Charlie Overton and Kenny Charles, went on to NBA careers. So this place was hopping, packed, especially the second half of that season, and I think that could happen again. But after that, I just trying to find out, a niche, what I wanted to do. So I walked into WFUV and volunteered, and the first day I was actually working, 3 people had called in sick, so they said, have you ever been on the air? And I said, no. Well, okay, you're going to be on the air this afternoon. They wanted me to write a thing it was about tax season. So I did, and I did it, and the cliche is the rest is history, but that ended up propelling me onto, my career in broadcasting and ultimately with ESPN.
Now, something I want to know about, and I appreciate you, you come through FUV, you give some workshops time to time, the connections, Fordham specifically in the industry, what having that kind of alumni network did for you, what you think it can do for people to come after you, and how it's kind of benefited you and how you've helped others with that, WFUV alum network.
Well, back in the late 70s and the early part of 81, the Fordham connection really wasn't that prevalent in the industry in New York. There were alums, but I don't think there is the length and breadth of alums that you have now, and especially the people that have positions with very high profiles and visibility, like a Mike Breen, like a Bob Papa, like Michael Kay, and people behind the scenes. Steve Shear, who is the lead college basketball producer for Fox Sports. And I'm forgetting people, but I think now the alums that are out in the broadcast industry are great resources and great conduits to people that are starting their careers and moving forward.
Yeah, so over 40 years in the industry, John Martin, over 4,200 events. I read that somewhere. I was shocked. I had to read it a few times just to believe it. You've seen it all. You've worked on it all. Just wondering, what have been some of the stuff you've been most proud of to work? What have been some of the most unique experiences you experienced throughout your career?
Well, we had the NBA on ESPN radio, so I produced 22 straight NBA finals at one point, and when we first acquired the rights with the 95-96 season, that was the second Jordan three-peat. So I was around Michael and the Bulls almost every weekend for 3 years. And that was phenomenal. The 99 baseball all-star game at Fenway Park, the Yankees World Series run, even the 2000 World Series, even though that didn't turn out well for Yankee fans. That whole 7 games and happening at the time it did on the heels of 9/11. And also we did a couple of Kentucky Derbies. We did some U.S. Open golf. We did some British Open, or as the RNA likes to remind us, it is the Open, because we were first. But Ryan, I mean, there's just been a multitude, and I suppose I should try and at one point write them down and make a list. But just make a list of top 10 or whatever. But almost every game or event you do, there is something that happens in the course of or leading up to that really sticks with you or has an impact.
Now, I want to shift over to specifically Fordham basketball, and today, obviously, there's a lot of excitement around the program. First year under head coach Kyle Neptune. Just wondering, from your experience, what have been some of your impressions so far in the job that he's done?
I think he's done a phenomenal job. And in view of what the last 5+ years have been here at Rose Hill with the program, to have them competitive in the A-10, and even though I know there have been a few blowouts, but as I've watched and kept track, every game this season, this team has been competitive. Now, games might have gotten away early second half or down the stretch. A lot of that, you look at it's the youth of the team. I mean, you see today just some of the things that, the clock violations, et cetera, that some of that's youth, some of that is just exuberance. But I think Kyle Neptune has done a fabulous job, and I look forward to, next season and, seasons after what, this can build into. Because like I told you, 70-71, this place was packed. And there were 2 nights in March of 1971 that the Fordham Rams, not Notre Dame and not Marquette, the Fordham Rams sold out Madison Square Garden, 19,500 at Madison Square Garden. And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal to be a student. It was phenomenal to be a mini part of that program. And you'd just like to see that again. They're competitive in the A-10 now, and that's great.
Now, last question for you. We appreciate, again, you taking some time. You've talked about it. You've worked on some finals games. You've seen a lot of basketball over your years, I'm sure. In this one, Fordham down 2, heading into the second half. What do you think they can do to kind of take this game over and end the season on a high note?
Well, they seem to have a reluctance, or they don't close out well on the threes, which is obvious, and there have been a couple of almost run-of-the-floor penetrations where nobody steps up to stop the ball, or at least try and detain the dribbler and let the defender catch up. So, I mean, I just think to tighten up the defense, play a little smarter, have a little more shot clock awareness. I mean, they're in this game, and I think when you look at GW, athletically they're probably superior in terms of their quickness. But the Rams are right there. So that I think a couple of those little things could have a good outcome.
John Martin, former senior director and executive producer for ESPN, thank you so much for taking some time with us. Really appreciate it.
All right, Ryan. Thank you.
We're going to send it back to our Rose Hill studios with Ryan Raybacks.
Thank you, Ryan, and a great interview there with John Martin. Really interesting stuff right there. And we got some halftime insight to get to as Fordham trails George Washington 36-34. But first, a one-on-one scoreboard with Bridge Gotham.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Last day of the regular season in the A-10. And for those of you just joining us, Dayton beat Davidson earlier 82-76. Some scores from the other side of the A-10. Duquesne hosting LaSalle, but they trail by 8 at the half. Rhode Island and St. Joseph's knotted up at 11 apiece, but that one's still early, 12-17 remaining in the first half. Over to the top 25, we talked about some finals earlier, so we'll just hop right into the bubble. Florida trying to play their way into the field of 68. The Gators, they trail Kentucky 38-26. Indiana also on the wrong side of the bubble, making a late run in the first half. They trail Purdue just 4 points at the half. And as we've talked about before, Duke in North Carolina, the classic rivalry for the last time, Coach K's final home game with the Blue Devils. NBA, not too much going on. Knicks and Nets are off tonight. And on the ice, the Islanders are getting things done. 2-0 your score there with 6 minutes remaining in the third period. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Bridge Gotham.
Thank you, Bridge. As we get into the halftime report, where Fordham trails George Washington 36-34 on Senior Day. And I got to say, you mentioned Senior Day, and Chuba Ohams has really risen to the occasion, you know. He's almost got another double-double to his notch, so how about this performance? He's been so key in why this game is really how Fordham's just right in this game.
Well, I can't think of a better way for Chuba Ohams to go out in front of the fans. First of all, we have fans back in our Rose Hill. Full house, packed house, with the COVID restrictions easing up, and honoring these seniors who have done so much for the program. And with Chuba Ohams, as you pointed out, almost a double-double already. He's done great things. And Josh Colon-Navarro getting off to a great start as well. You know, GW, obviously, they've been the better team in the first half, but Fordham only trailing by 2. You know, that's what you like to see at the half. You can definitely make a run when the second half starts.
Absolutely. And Fordham 9-4 at the Rose Hill Gym this season. So do they have a second half where they can possibly pull out a W? We'll see. George Washington won the first matchup this season 64-55, so Fordham looking to get some revenge there and possibly get a better second half, because the main difference in this game so far has been the three-point percentage and the two teams shooting the three ball. George Washington is shooting 60%, Fordham shooting 33%, so they got to get it going in the second half.
Yeah, no, the three ball needs to start dropping for Fordham. And, you know, you pointed out 9-4 at the Rose Hill Gymnasium, college home court. There's no better home court than college home court. And with the fans back, you'll truly feel the difference today. You can hear the atmosphere. It is, you know, it is actually an atmosphere.
Absolutely. The Rose Hill Gym is loud as Fordham looks to get the win over George Washington. 36-34, George Washington leads at the Rose Hill Gym, and we'll send it back to the Rose Hill Gym for the second half with Nick DeLuca and Ryan Gregware.
Back here at the Rose Hill Gym, George Washington 36, Fordham 34. Our thanks to former ESPN producer, WFUV alum John Martin for joining us on the one-on-one halftime report. Halftime adjustments down to the third member of our crew, Thomas Aiello.
What's going on, Nick? So I was able to get Coach Ramon here asking about his first half thoughts, and he said, guys, we're definitely hustling. We still got to rebound better, but guys are hustling, and we have to continue to execute our game plan. A humongous theme with this Fordham team. It's all about execution with this group. And in second half, Fordham may have to make a few adjustments, especially with their three-point defense, but for the most part, defense and rebounding will be the key.
Thanks, Tom. GW winning that battle 16-14 at the break. Fordham has opened things up 12 of 29 from the field. 10 points from Chuba Ohams, 9 from Darius Quisenberry to lead the way. Brayon Freeman, the uber-talented George Washington freshman, with 11 in the first half. Quancy Samuels, the 9. James Bishop with 6. And Fordham seemingly in a good spot if they can perhaps provide a little bit more of a contest on the three-point shooting for George Washington.
And you look across the board for Fordham, just 4 turnovers, 41% from the field, 33 from 3, usually with 34 points going into halftime. You'd figure that would be enough to kind of be in this one, and it is. It really just comes down to the three-point defense, 6 for 10 GWs. We've kind of talked about it, some unsung heroes for them. Quancy Samuels, 3 for 3. Bishop drawing one. Those are guys, or not Bishop, rather for Adams drawing one. Those are guys that you don't expect to always kind of beat you. They have early on, but the way that Fordham played, you get the feeling if they continue to do what they've done offensively, they'll be in a good spot.
GW entering play, having held opponents to 30% from long range. That's 29th best in the entire country, second in the A10. Held opponents below 30% from beyond the arc 14 times this season. And that defense has been good again this afternoon. 4 at 12 in the first half for Fordham from long range, and GW winning that battle to a 2-point lead on the scoreboard. Fordham a chance to lock in the number 9 seed in the A10 tournament next week in Washington, D.C. GW looking to hold down seed number 7. Fordham will start with the basketball. Darius Quisenberry will inbound for Josh Colon-Navarro. Kyle Rose, Abdou Simbila, and Chuba Ohams, the 5 out of the halftime break for Kyle Neptune to start it. Straightaway Ohams, left arc for Rose. Screen right Simbilla roaming the over-the-head pass near side. Quisenberry right arc with 15 to shoot. Drawing the straightaway double team. Bounce Cologne Navarro. The skip backing down Ohams with 12. Stop center of the paint. Far corner pass. Rose, the ball fake and a drive and a travel called. Fordham turns it over on their opening possession, second half.
GW doing a great job there of switching different guys going into different positions to close out the three. Fordham was looking for it, unable to get the shot off.
GW hit 3 of its last 4 shots to close out the first half, looking to carry that offensive momentum into the back half of plays. Freeman, the bounce right block, kicked away. It was Simbilla getting a foot on it. George Washington keeps possession, left of the goal, inbound float for Dean, right at the basket, lays it in with the right.
And that's a tough break for Fordham there because there were 3 defenders on that pass. Unfortunately for them, it hits off Simbilla's heel, and GW gets another chance, and they cash it.
George Washington, a 4-point lead, 38-34. Straightaway Ohams rips away the steal attempt by Freeman. Free throw line, zigzag dribble backing down. Rose, the ball fake. Right elbow, no look pass, near block Ohams backing down. Fake the pass, back to the basket with 3. Lefty sky hook, front rim and off. Dean, the tip of the loose ball, stepped on the baseline. Fordham will keep it with a fresh 20 on the shot clock.
And Ohams there getting swarmed. So it looks like GW coming into the second half, they're going to try their best to take away his ability down low, switch on the three-point line. It's a defense that's worked throughout the year. We'll see how comfortable Ohams is with the double.
George Washington by 4, 38-34. Just over a minute in second half. Quisenberry, free throw line, back to the basket with 12 to shoot. Defended by Bishop. The bounce for Ohams, right elbow stop, straight away Nowitzki. Left arc with 6 to shoot and 5. Left of the lane drive. The shoulder shake, fall away from 5. Left short of the rim. George Washington loose ball. Flip into the front court. Bambasil left of the lane, knocked away by Nowitzki. And Fordham, the good transition defense. Float, intercepted by Bishop. Back the other way. Right to left, stop at the free throw line, pull up jumper. Back heel and off. It's Rose bringing together the center of the paint rebound.
Cologne Navarro wisely slowing it down for the Rams. We saw that last possession, Rose trying to push it in transition, an errant pass there. GW, fortunately for Fordham, couldn't capitalize.
Right arc, Cologne Navarro, over the head pass. Oham stop left elbow with 12 to shoot. Taken on 2, rolls it in with the right. Chuba Ohams to 12 points, breaking a Fordham scoreless drought of 3 minutes dating back to the first half. The Rams within 2, 38-36 GW, 2.5 minutes into the second half. Straightaway Freeman, right arc. Amir Harris, the ball fake bounce. Dean going up, blocked away. Nowitzki called for the foul. Dean had it roll off the right of the rim. Seemingly had an easy dunk attempt. And Rostik Nowitzki will pick up his second, Fordham's first of the second half. It will send Hunter Dean to the free throw line.
And as this season's progressed, Rostik Nowitzki defensively inside improved a ton. 2 blocks, and this one, unfortunately for him, unable to get the call on that one.
Dean hits the first. Guy who averages just 5 and 6 on the year, but has been so important to what George Washington has done this season. 5 points right now to go with 6 rebounds. GW 7-1 this year when Hunter Dean has 3 or more field goals, just 1 and 7 when he has fewer. Off the mark on the second free throw, back heel and off. George Washington, a 3-point lead, 39-36, approaching 3 minutes in second half. Left of the lane stop, Charlton, who's checked in. Bounce straight away, Cologne Navarro's 3. Front rim off, Dean, center of the paint rebound. Fordham has really struggled from long range today, 4 of 13. Right arc, Ricky Lindo, the bounce, right of the lane, backing down Dean. Working on Nowitzki, double team comes, possession swipe, loose ball, last touch by Dean out through the baseline. George Washington turns it over, Fordham with the basketball back.
And Hunter Dean, he's the ultimate around the basket player. Last time out for Fordham, 14 rebounds for him, up to 7 in this one. So if you can keep him out of the paint like they did there, bring a double, that's not his game. So a good job for Fordham forcing the turnover.
Dean with double-figure rebound games in 6 of 14. Hadn't done that in his entire career before this stretch. The baseline run. Colon Navarro laying it in with the right off the feed from Charlton. Fordham within one, 39-38, approaching the 4-minute in mark of the second half. Freeman behind the back dribble, speeding into the front court. Euro step, left it off front rim. Battle for the underneath the basket rebound. Nowitzki paddled it out through the baseline. George Washington will keep possession, 18 on the shot clock. GW by 1, 39-38.
And that's what you miss when OMs is out of the game. His ability to always come down with it, something that Fordham, when he's off the court, take advantage of.
Near side Freeman, float by Bishop, back heel off, right block rebound for Kyle Rose. Colon Navarro, near side outlet, Quisenberry's three. Left rim and off, Nowitzki batting out through the baseline. The fingertip of Dean. And Fordham with an extra possession, heady play by Rastik Nowitzki.
Yeah, there was no chance he would have been able to come down with that with 3 defenders there. The best chance he had was to just knock it off the hand. It's exactly what he did. High IQ there from Nowitzki.
Fordham now 4 of 14 from long range today. Right of the lane inbound, Quisenberry's three is good. Straight on, Quisenberry with room. He's got 12 points. That is third three of the afternoon, and Fordham retakes the lead by 2, 41-39. 4 minutes in second half. Twirling around, Dean going up right block. Blocked away, Freeman the feed. Quisenberry the loose ball. Right of the lane drive. The adjustment twisting around goes up too strong, but a foul called as Darius Quisenberry will head to the free throw line on the other side of this timeout. Quisenberry putting his body on the line, attacking the basket, and Fordham a 5-0 run to take a 41-39 lead at the 15:43 mark of the second half. You're listening to Fordham basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, I'm Michael Calamari, reminding you to tune into New York's longest-running sports call-in show, One on One. Catch all the breaking sports news, hot takes, inside scoops from our beat reporters, and interviews with people around the world of sports. One on One airs every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on YouTube Live, and once again at night from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. on 90.7 FM. Want more one-on-one? Catch our Wednesday edition of the show, One-on-One Nightly from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Twitter and YouTube Live. Join the conversation and tune in to One-on-One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show.
.43 to go in this one. Fordham 41, George Washington 39. On the sidelines, here's Thomas Aiello.
Nick, Ryan, one of my favorite things to listen to is Coach's Coach. I was able to listen in to Trayvon Woodle and Ronald Ramon, the assistant coaches for Fordham. Two things that stood out to me that they were yelling: who's got here, and move off the ball. Defensively, Fordham is trying to get back and getting out to contest those open jumpers that George Washington is generating, and moving off the ball on the offensive end. They're playing the two-man game with backdoor cuts with Josh Colon Navarro and trying to feed it from the wings to get easy scores towards the basket. Guys, as we head here into the second half, Fordham is going to look to generate as many open and easy looks as it is possible against this George Washington defense.
Thanks, Tom. That ball movement has been on display this afternoon, and the pace has increased for Fordham trying to beat that half-court defense for George Washington. The latest, Darius Quisenberry driving to the basket and hitting the floor. We'll head to the free throw line on the other side of this timeout. A 7-1 Fordham run approaching 4 minutes. And George Washington, after that hot start and quality shooting through the first 20 minutes of play, have cooled off a bit.
And the key for me is they're 1 for 6, 17%, but they haven't taken a three. So that was something, obviously 60% in the first half. Fordham, they came out with an emphasis, don't let them beat you from beyond the arc, and it's worked as Fordham's been able to regain the lead.
Darius Quisenberry, 12 points today, 4 of 7 from the field. We'll head to the free throw line with a chance to extend the Fordham lead. His first is good. Quisenberry to 13, a 6-0 Fordham run. George Washington will make a substitution. James Bishop will head out with Brendan Adams. The UConn transfer coming back in. Quisenberry's second is good. Fordham 43, George Washington 39, 15:43 to go in this one. Quisenberry will check out with Chuba Ohams returning to the floor. Left of the goal, inbound, float for Samuels, near side in the backcourt. Josh Colon-Navarro badgering along the near side. The spin move, flip for Samuels, left arc. With 20, curling Adams, left arc double team, straight on Samuels, looking for the handoff. His skip, baseline drive for Freeman, backing down with 10 to shoot. Bamisil straight away, Charlton the defense, right elbow got poked, flipping it up, left rim and off. And Bamisil draws the foul on Intro Charlton. And it's his first and Fordham's second. With the shot clock winding down, that not a foul that Intro Charlton wanted to take.
And last game, we saw him get into foul trouble, eventually foul. That is part of his game he needs to improve on. He gets very handsy, aggressive with those hands, and they call it against him very often.
Hesitation dribble, falling away. Adams, the righty floater, in and out. It bounds to the baseline, and Adams, drawing the contact, will head to the free throw line. As Brendan Adams made contact with the shoulder of Josh Colon-Navarro and will head to the free throw line, his first in and out.
And Adams, you look at, he played 78 games for UConn before coming here. So you look at this environment, he's faced some big crowds in the past. You get the sense that down the stretch, if this crowd really gets into it, a guy with Adams' experience will be key for the Colonials.
Fordham by 4, 43-39. Adams too strong on the second. Approaching the 5-minute in mark, second half. Fordham a 4-point lead. Cutting Charlton near corner Rose. Jab step with 15 to shoot. Right arc Ohams. Center of the paint slice. Far corner 3. Nowitzki knocks it down. Make it another assist from Chuba Ohams. The find. Nowitzki drills the 3. Fordham a 10-0 run. And a 7-point lead. 46-39. 14:40 to go in this one. Left arc Samuels, stop at the free throw line. His jumper, back heel and off. Ohams had to hesitate with an extra bounce. It's out through the baseline, last touched by George Washington. Fordham with possession, a chance to add to the 10-0 run. GW scoreless in the last 3 minutes.
And the defense by Fordham, it's coming together, and they're doing exactly what they sought out to do. Before the game, Kwanzi Samuels, we talked about his first half impact. They're Fordham, leaving him wide open for the long 2. Time in the shot clock as well. They will live with that shot as he missed it.
And Terrell Charlton across the midline. Left arc bounce, Ohams back to the basket, head of the key. Left elbow. Shut off by Lindo, drawing the double team, baseline drive, flipping it up, left rim off. Lindo will clasp the left block rebound. Bishop into the front court, GW trying to stem the tide on a 10-0 Fordham run. Lindo attacking center of the paint, sidestep, left it off, back heel, and a foul called on the floor on Fordham as Lindo zigzagged his way to the basket. Rastik Nowitzki will pick up his third, Fordham's fourth. And that, a tough call that will send Ricky Lindo to the free throw line with the call reversed to in the act of shooting. Too strong on the first.
A very late call there as well, giving Lindo a chance, missing the first one. But Fordham in the midst of this 10-0 run, the last thing you want to do for GW is give them free chances to score the basketball.
GW 3 of 9 from the free throw line today, make it 3 of 10. Lindo in and out on the second. 4 straight misses for GW from the free throw line, and Fordham maintains a 7-point lead. Straightaway Charlton for Ohams, the give, picks up his dribble, flip for Nowitzki. Charlton, block F portion of the logo. Hesitation dribble, stop at the free throw line. Right arc Quisenberry with 5 to shoot and 4. Steps back, hoists the three. Misses everything. Rose fighting for the ball underneath. GW comes away with it with Bishop. Lindo, center of the paint, lost possession, reclaims. Left arc for Adams. Ram portion of the logo, Bishop defended by Rose. Stops, right elbow jumper, back heel, rolls off. Right block rebound for Antrell Charlton and Fordham. GW scoreless in almost 4.5 minutes into the second half. Rams by 7. Straight away, Ohams with 15 on the shot clock, working on Lindo. Left to the lane, sidestepping, left rim and off on the shovel attempt. It's underneath the basket, rebound for Samuels. Give and go straight away. Directing traffic to a curling Brendan Adams. Samuels shut off by Rose with 15 to shoot. Adams the float, deflected by Ohams. Give and go from Charlton. Step through, two-handed slam. It's a 12-0 Fordham run. And Fordham's top senior blows the top off of the Rose Hill Gym. The two-handed flush and a 9-point Fordham lead. They've got the last 12 points. Fordham 48, George Washington 39. 12:33 to go in this one. You're listening to Fordham basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, I'm Michael Calamari, reminding you to tune into New York's longest-running sports call-in show, One on One. Catch all the breaking sports news, hot takes, inside scoops from our beat reporters, and interviews with people around the world of sports. One on One airs every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on YouTube Live, and once again at night from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. on 90.7 FM. Want more one-on-one? Catch our Wednesday edition of the show, One-on-One Nightly, from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Twitter and YouTube Live. Join the conversation and tune in to One-on-One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show.
Fordham 48, George Washington 39, 12:33 to go in the second half. Fordham has 14 of the game's last 17 points. It's a 12-0 run over the last 5 minutes, and the defensive energy transitioning to easy offense.
And it's kind of what we talked about during that halftime. If Fordham stuck what they were doing offensively and fine-tuned some things on the defensive end, things would turn around. Well, Nick, that's exactly what's happened. GW just 3 points this entire half. Still haven't taken a three-point shot in Fordham. They're able to push it in transition, generate points off turnovers, do what they need to do on their end of the floor to open this up to a 9-point lead.
GW 1 of 8 from the field to open up the second half. Fordham 5 of 12. And the Rams using that defensive intensity to pull in front on senior day. Chuba Ohams now up to 14 points with 9 rebounds and 5 assists. So in addition to everything that he is doing, scoring the basketball, rebounding the basketball, he's moving it as well. 15 assists in his last 3.
And that's the key. And I think with Darius Quisenberry coming back in those 3 games, that is, the common element there, because it gives Fordham another dimension. But OMs in this half, they've done a better job containing him. But it doesn't matter, because if they put 2 on him, he's going to dish it. Fordham offensive players, they've been hitting their shots, and it's why OMs these last 3 games, his passing ability, his IQ has been on display.
Guy that Kyle Neptune said meant everything to this program, coming back to Fordham, enjoying a senior day this afternoon. And from the toughness to the defense to the way that he has grown as an offensive player throughout this season, he said that Chuba and Josh Colon-Navarro, 2 of the most important pieces that Fordham has had this season because of the way that they fit Kyle Neptune's Fordham image and DNA, what he was looking for in his players. And he said maybe if we had other returners who did some things differently, we'd still like that, but we really are appreciative that those two guys were the mainstays, returners onto this roster because they fit exactly what we want to be in the future.
That's what makes this so impressive, because these weren't Neptune's guys. These are a holdover from the last era. He had to win them back, and not only did he do that, but they're playing his style of basketball perhaps better than anyone else on this roster.
George Washington scoreless, and now over 5 minutes trying to stem a 12-0 Fordham run. Back to the basket, Ricky Lindo, cut by Bishop, left block, flips it up and in. Out of the timeout, James Bishop off the dish from Ricky Lindo Jr. And George Washington trails by 7, Fordham 48, GW 41, 8 minutes in to the second half. Bounce right arc Charlton, screen right Simbilla, wheeling around, left to the lane drive. Possession poked away out through the baseline. Off the knee of Charlton. And George Washington will take possession on the other side of this timeout. GW with the quick deuce. And now back to our Rose Hill studios. It's a one-on-one scoreboard with Bridge Gotham.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Last day of the regular season in the A10 and some great matchups today. LaSalle on top of Duquesne 64-55 with just under 8 to go in the second half. Rhode Island visiting St. Joe's, the home team, winning that one 28-22 in favor of St. Joe's. Over to the top 25, we got a final score for you. Number 5, Auburn, they beat South Carolina 82-71. Number 12, Texas Tech and Oklahoma State are underway, 14-12 in favor of Texas Tech, 8 to go in the first half. And again, Florida trying to play their way into the field of 68, but it's a tough one for them. The Gators, they trail Kentucky by 14 early in the second half. Indiana, also on the wrong side of the bubble, they trail by just 5 to number 8 Purdue on the road, 12 minutes to go in that one. Later today, number 4 Duke and North Carolina square off in what will be Coach K's final home game with the Blue Devils. In the NBA, not much going on. Knicks and Nets are off tonight, but a marquee matchup on the West Coast. The Warriors visiting LeBron James and the struggling Lakers. And finally, on the ice, the Islanders get the win over the St. Louis Blues 2-1. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Bridge Gotham.
$11:59 to go second half. Fordham 48, George Washington 41. The Rams a 14-3 run in this second half to take the lead. 5 of 12 from the field and 2 of 5 from 3. George Washington with just 5 second half points on 2 of 9. Have not attempted a 3 after hitting 6 of 10 in the first half, and the adjustments have been well executed by Fordham.
And from the body language aspect, you look at GW, they just looked uncomfortable. The shots that they're taking, they're not high percentage looks, they're contested, they're rushing early in the shot clock. Fordham defensively, they are just attacking what GW wants to do, and they have not had an answer here the first 8 minutes of this half.
Two teams meeting with their respective head coaches on the far side. Right and left to the scorers table, Kyle Neptune and Jamion Christian. Two teams trying to end the regular season on a high note, set themselves up for success in next week's Atlantic 10 tournament. It will be a short trip for George Washington to downtown D.C.
Is it even a trip?
I guess. Verizon Center, Fordham a couple of hours south. The Rams securing that first round bye into Thursday with Rhode Island's loss on Wednesday for the first time in 6 years. Ball back in play. Lindo, far corner, defended by Ohams with 15 on the shot clock. Curling Adams, the bounce, defended by Riley. And a wedge for possession. Zach Riley will be charged with his second foul. Fordham's 5th. Kyle Rose comes right back into the game.
And Adams had the inside there, so Zach Riley, going up with the contest, not having much of a response there besides the foul.
Left of the lane float. Lindo, the handoff for Freeman, far corner. Lockout portion of the logo. Bishop head of the key pass. Left arc 3, Adams. Front rim and off. Ohams rips away a 10th rebound, make it an 8th straight double-double. Fordham by 7, 48-41. Josh Colon-Navarro straight away for Rose. Yo-yo dribble, head of the key stop. Handoff for Charlton. Juggled, taken away Freeman into the front court. Float, knocked away Colon-Navarro out through the baseline. GW keeps it, but an excellent play on defense for Colon-Navarro to save an easy 2.
One of the things that Coach Neptune praised about Josh Colon-Navarro before the game to us was his will. Right there, Nick, that is just pure will. 2-on-1 to be able to tip it up, reset it, get your defender set. It might not show up in the stat sheet, but that is what that will is all about.
Left of the goal, inbound. Freeman for Dean. The short corner jumper. Front rim off. Colon-Navarro rips away the right block. Rebound falls to the floor. Brayon Freeman ran him over. Brayon Freeman will pick up his first and George Washington's second. Colon-Navarro doing it all on that sequence. The tip, the rebound, and then drawing the foul. Handoff for a wheeling Zach Riley straight away. Straight on Quisenberry, left arc Colon-Navarro. Charlton over the head possession. Defended by Bishop, 15 on the shot clock. Flip for Quisenberry, right arc. Adams the defense. Jab step back to the basket. Quisenberry attacking right of the lane. Scoop layup high off the glass. Too strong. Ohams the offensive board. Ripped away going back up. It falls to the baseline. Ohams drawing the foul. Chuba with an 11th rebound, that time on the offensive glass, heading to the free throw line after the GW foul.
And 2-3 defenders, it doesn't matter. Chuba Ohams in this game, he has been determined to keep possessions alive. Did so right there.
Third foul on Hunter Dean. Ohams a chance to add to a 7-point Fordham lead, 48-41. His first, back heel and off. Ohams had hit 6 straight free throw attempts heading in to that last one. Off the mark that time. Zach Riley checks out. Kyle Rose back in. Second free throw for Ohams is good. Chuba with 15, 12, and 5 on senior day. 10.5 to go second half. Fordham by 8, 49-41. Bamisil curling around. Righty runner. Front rim and off. Ohams make it a 12th rebound. Joe Bamisil, just 1 of 6 from the field today, has 3 points. Fordham by 8, midway mark second half, 49-41. Quisenberry, left arc bounce, back to the basket, Ohams. Dean the defense, left to the lane drive, adjustment with the right, flips it in. Ohams to 17. Fordham by 10, 51-41, largest lead of the day. Right of the lane drive, Freeman stepping through, double team Adams, the adjustment, the contact, off right rim, but a foul. Brendan Adams leaning in to draw the contact, can't get the and one to fall, but will head to the free throw line. Fordham once again pleading with the officials to say that they went straight up underneath, and Brendan Adams a chance to break a 2.5-minute scoreless drought for GW. Fordham has 17 of the game's last 20 points in the first 10 minutes of this second half.
And this foul could be exactly what GW needs. The way this game's getting away from him, the way Fordham has the momentum, how comfortable they've been on defense, any stoppage of clock to try to stop that could be what the Colonials are looking for.
Adams drills the first. GW, midway through the second half, has scored just 6 points. And their leading scorer, Brayon Freeman, who had 11 in the first half, has been held off the board through 10 minutes into the second. 2 out of 2 at the line for Adams. It's an 8-point Fordham lead, 51-43. Top of the key, Ohams straddling the free throw line. Right block double team, Rose the 3. Back heel and off. Dean swats the rebound for Bishop. Across the midline, lost the handle. Flip into the front court. Colon-Navarro lays it in with the right. Fordham the defense. The turnover into points. Rams by 10, 53-43. Dean right elbow looking for an outlet. To the curling Adams right elbow jumper. Front rim off. Colon-Navarro clears for the board.
And the defense there by Fordham, they were daring Hunter Dean, who's just a few feet away from the basket, to shoot the basketball. When you do that, you can drop Ohams down low. It allows no one to be able to drive over him. It's how they've adjusted here in this half, holding GW to just 7.
Baseline run, Quisenberry, the finger roll in with the right. Darius to 16 points. Fordham, their largest lead is 12. GW pushing, Bamisil, right arc 3. Front rim, rattles around and falls. Joe Bamisil hits George Washington's second field goal in their last 14 attempts. Bamisil to 6 points today. And the Fordham lead is 9, 55-46, 8:20 to go second half. Charlton wheeling around. Stop at the elbow. Adjustment, Adams the defense. Bounce for Ohams. Left block, double team, muscling through. Up off the glass. Ohams to 19 points. Bodying Dean, and Fordham an 11-point lead, 8 minutes to go second half. Far corner 3. Adams knocks it down. Brendan Adams open. Has 10 points today. And a GW answer makes it an 8-point game, 57-49, 7:40 and ticking second half.
These last few possessions, GW, once, Fordham scores, they're pushing it right away. Fordham not set defensively. They've been able to hit 2 threes.
Cologne Navarro, the roaming dribble. Freeman reaching in. It's a George Washington foul. Breon Freeman, who still is yet to score in this second half, picks up his second to send us to another timeout. Fordham is 4 of their last 5 from the field. George Washington just 2 of their last 15. 7:38 to go. Fordham 57, George Washington 49. You're listening to Fordham basketball on WFUV Sports. Offensive rebound, Kelly. Cologne Navarro nails a left arc 3. Backing down Oham's restricted area, twisting away the two-handed flush. The hesitation, steps back, right arc 3. Oh, net. What's up, everybody? Nick DeLuca here, the play-by-play voice of Fordham men's basketball, reminding you that WFUV Sports is your home for all things Fordham basketball as they march to the A10 tournament. Don't miss a moment as we take you through the season's final chapter, plus highlights, analysis, and exclusive interviews with the Fordham men's basketball coaching staff. Right here on 90.7 FM and the WFUV Sports YouTube channel. 7:38 to go in this one. Fordham 57, George Washington 49. Down to the sidelines with Thomas Aiello.
This is my final sideline report here at the Rose Hill Gym of the season, and I listened in on the coach's bench. It was 2 words: feed him. And him, of course, being Chuba Ohams, 19 and 13 with 5 assists right now. He is on an absolute roll. So Fordham is going to be looking to their star big man down the stretch to put the finishing touches here on the George Washington Colonials.
Thanks, Tom. Fordham an 8-point lead down the stretch, and we've talked about it so much, how much Chuba Ohams has meant to this Fordham attack. Offensively, he's got 3 blocks on the defensive end, but it seems like no matter how much pressure George Washington has put on him, Ohams, it doesn't matter. He's just going to score anyway.
And the scary thing is he's just getting better. So one of the things that this staff has talked about, playing your best basketball at the end of the year, no one that has resonated with more than Chuba Ohams. Now 8 straight double-doubles. You look at this game, he's just on a mission offensively. He's attacking the basket every single time. And GW, they just have no answer.
Fordham, 9 of 19 from the field in this second half to GW's 4 of 15. As the Rams have been efficient into this second half of play, and it started with their star big man, Chuba Ohams. Darius Quisenberry looking more like himself in his 3rd game back from injury to 16 points on 5 of 10 from the field. Has played 26 minutes as Fordham looks to limit how much that he plays coming off the injury. He has played a little bit more sparingly, and he has looked, as a result, more effective.
And when he's coming into the game, he's able to be aggressive, attack the basket, the efficiency from him, something we haven't seen throughout the year. 50% from the field, 16 points. And OM's is getting a lot of the shine in this one, but Darius Quisenberry has been extremely effective for the Rams.
Josh Colon-Navarro with 9 on senior day. Kyle Rose with 6. Nowitzki, Riley, and Cunningham combining for 7 points. Final 7:38 second half. Fordham by 8, 57-49. Straightaway Nowitzki, right arc Rome, defended by Lindo. Handoff, right arc Colon-Navarro, straightaway Nowitzki, right block through his hands out through the baseline. A Fordham turnover out of the timeout.
The hands for Nowitzki, they've been a problem this season. He's so, he has that talent that's just raw, it's untapped. But when he gets the ball in the post, teams are very aggressive at poking it out. They're just unable to get it. No real contest for the pass.
Colon-Navarro, Charlton, Riley, Nowitzki, and Rose. The 5 on the floor for Fordham, looking to protect an 8-point lead, 57-49. Ricky Lindo is checked in. Hunter Dean with 3 fouls onto the bench. Bamisill straight away. Left arc Bishop. Wheeling for Brayon Freeman. Right of the lane drive. Up and under. Off front rim. Rise for the offensive board. Lindo. Kick out Bishop. Right arc 3. In and out. Nowitzki soaring center of the paint board. Bamisill a hand on it. Riley rips it away and a jump ball called. Zach Riley can't believe it. It seemed pretty clear that he had ripped the basketball away, and yet a jump ball will keep possession with George Washington.
And I can't either, Nick. It looked like he had clear possession. Wasn't much of a real hassle there. He just ripped it away immediately. GW catches a break right there.
Darius Quisenberry and Chuba Ohams check back in. Lindo, the baseline drive, lays it in with the left. Ricky Lindo getting inside on Oham's first points of the day. And a 6-point Fordham lead, 57-51, 6:45 and ticking second half. Straightaway Ohams, 19-13 today. The far corner pass, driving over Lindo, and an offensive foul is called. Ohams picks up his second, and it's Fordham's 7th. A tough call on Ohams, backing down and still getting called for the charge.
Yeah, few, tough calls going against Fordham. Ohams trying to explain to the ref why that's the wrong call, but he had none of it.
Adams across the midline stripe. Left arc Bamisill with 6 points today. Straight away, the flip to Brendan Adams, shielded by Charlton. Bamisill, right arc, hoists the 3. Is good. Bamisill, the contested 3 over Colon-Navarro. To 9 points this afternoon. It's a third 3 for him and a 3-point Fordham lead, 57-54 in the final 6 minutes.
And you couldn't play tighter defense than Colon-Navarro played there. So Neptune, telling us that this team, what they do, they just hit contested shots. We're seeing it on display with Bamisill.
Bounce for Ohams, left arc, the float to the right block. Looking for Quisenberry with contact ahead of the pass. It goes out through the baseline. Fordham will keep it because of the foul call. Brendan Adams picks up his first. 6:03 to go, second half. Fordham by 3. Ohams off the lob. Charlton the feed. It rolls off right rim. But Chuba Ohams drawing the foul. James Bishop will be called for his second and GW's 6th. Chuba Ohams once again the force down low to the free throw line with a chance to make it a 20-point day.
And it could have been a better pass by Charlton, so impressive for Ohams to rise, to elevate, to come down with it, to get the shot off. Now to the free throw line.
Ohams flips up the first. It goes down. Breaks an 8-0 George Washington run over the last 2 minutes of play. Josh Colon-Navarro will check out with Zach Riley returning. 6:02. Remaining second half, Fordham by 4, 58-54. Ohams the second, rattles in. 21, 13, and 5 for Chuba Ohams. 5:55 to go second half. Fordham by 5, 59-54. Right arc Adams, jab step, baseline bounce, blocked away by Ohams, and a goaltending call. Ohams springing away from the glass. Could not believe that he was called for the goaltend. The basket counts, and Fordham's lead trimmed to 3. Brendan Adams credited with the bucket. He's got 12 points this afternoon. Fordham's lead to one possession. Charlton, block F portion of the logo, straight on for Ohams. Near corner pass, Rose, hesitation dribble. 15 on the shot clock, backing down. Right block on Freeman, turning around. Quisenberry, ball fake, long two. Front rim off. Ohams the follow and the throwdown. Off front rim, two-handed flush. Ohams with 23.
You can't get in better position than OM did right there and flushing it down for the dunk.
Fordham by 5, 61-56. Right arc Adams in the final 5 minutes to play. Bounce far side. Bishop backing down Cologne Navarro. Freeman's three is good. Bring on Freeman with his first points of the second half. He's got 14. Fordham's lead to 2, 61-59. 4:45 to go.
GW now 4 for 6 from 3 in the second half. That is how they've been able, after Fordham looked like they were in control, to make this a game.
Steal by Lindo into the front court. Two-handed soft flush. And this game's tied 61-all after the Fordham turnover. 4.5 to go. Josh Cologne Navarro walking it across the midline. A 5-0 GW run to tie it. Left arc Charlton. Straight away Ohams with 23. Head of the key, far side pass, Charlton's three. Right rim and off, and the center of the paint rebound clamped by Ricky Lindo Jr. Freeman, the right arc roam, right of the lane drive, shoulder up and under, left short, loose ball far side, scooped up by Chuba Ohams. Fordham and GW knotted at 61, 3:50 to go. Far sideline, the pressure on Cologne Navarro, the shoulder by Freeman, and a foul called to send us to another timeout. It's the third on Bring on Freeman, George Washington 7th, and with a tie ball game at 61 with 3:52 to go. Back to our Rose Hill studios, a one-on-one scoreboard with Bridge Gotham.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Last day of the regular season in the A-10, and we got a good one. Duquesne and LaSalle. LaSalle up 79-73, just under 2 minutes to go in that one. Rhode Island visiting St. Joseph's. Halftime score there, St. Joe's up 32-25. If you want more A-10 basketball, the regular season may be over, but the conference tournament tips off next Wednesday and goes until Sunday. In the top 25, lots to get to. Texas Tech and Oklahoma State knotted up at 25 apiece going into halftime. Indiana, they're on the wrong side of the bubble, but they are actually up on number 8 Purdue, 56-54 with 6 minutes to go in that one. And Florida trying to play their way into the field of 68. The Gators are trailing by 9, 8 minutes to go in that one. Lots of more bubble action tomorrow. Michigan, Rutgers, Memphis, and SMU all looking for key wins on Sunday. Over to the NBA, Knicks and Nets are off, but the Nets visit the Celtics tomorrow, and the Knicks are at the Clippers. Finally, on the NHL, the Islanders won 2-1 against the St. Louis Blues. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Bridge Gotham.
3:52 to go second half. Fordham and George Washington tied at 61 on Senior Day from the Rose Hill Gym. Nick DeLuca, Ryan Gregware, our entire WFUV sports crew. So happy you could spend some of your Saturday with us. George Washington building a first half lead led by as many as 5. Fordham storming back in the second half on an extended run to take a 12-point lead, but George Washington has pulled it tied in the final 3:52. Each team with 7 fouls, so Fordham and George Washington in the bonus. Fordham with 3 timeouts left, Fordham 2. And the Rams continuing to work through their top option, Chuba Ohams, today.
And there's no reason they should go away with this. As GW's answered, it's been the 3 ball. But for them on offense, they can't try to play that 3-point game. They can't try to catch up to them. What's worked, it's been Chuba Ohams. They went away from it last game in his senior day, 23-15. I don't see a reason the Rams shouldn't keep feeding him down low.
And on the other side for George Washington, Bamasil and Bishop, one of the top 2 duos in the entire Atlantic 10, averaging over 35 points a game combined in Atlantic 10 play. Fordham has held them to just 17.
Yeah, so you cut in half what they've been doing. That's what Fordham's defense at its best has been all year. They're going to take away your top two options. They're going to let other guys get going. That's what they've done. Adams and Freeman hit some guys they left open, and they've combined it, for 26 plus. So you get down the stretch, the way Bishop, really controlled that game, hitting shot after shot, keying him on him is going to be huge for Fordham.
Far sideline foul, sending Cologne Navarro to the free throw line. His first lips out on the front end of the 1-and-1. An empty trip to the stripe with Brayon Freeman clamping the left block rebound. Bamasil baseline drive on Quisenberry. Kick out Lindo, the three. Right rim and off. Ohams, another rebound. Make it 16, 23 and 16 today. Far side Rose, his pass deflected to Oham. Center of the paint, lays it in, but a foul on the floor. It will send Chuba Ohams to the free throw line in the center of the paint. Fordham and George Washington tied at 61. And even on deflected passes, Chuba Ohams, the ball's finding him today.
It's like a magnet with him in the basketball, the way every time he's able to come down with it, deflections, whatever. Not sure if that foul was intentional by Adams, but really smart regardless because Ohams, had it in the paint, ready to put it up. So if you have a chance to hack him, I think you have to if you're GW.
Front end of the 1-and-1 for Ohams. Front rim and off. The right block rebound for GW. Shovel by Lindo to Brayon Freeman. Fordham scoreless in the last 2 minutes. They've shot it 11 of 15 from the free throw line and missed on the front end of the 1-and-1 on consecutive trips. Steal by Charlton. Front court, left of the lane drive. Lays it in. Antrell Charlton, the steal and the score. Fordham's team leader in steals. Gives the Rams the lead, 63-61, 3 minutes to go. Left arc Freeman back to the basket, baseline Lindo. Cutting Bamasil, fall away from three. Left rim and off, but a foul called on Fordham. With the contact underneath. Antrell Charlton will pick up his second and Fordham's eighth. And the foul called in the act of shooting, so Bamasil will shoot two.
And it's his first free throw attempts of the game. But you look at that, comparison in this one. GW just 5 for 12 at 42%. Fordham missing a few on the 1-and-1, but still 11 for 15. With Fordham having this home crowd to their advantage, you wonder how much of a factor the free throw shooting will play.
Bamasil, a 72% free throw shooter on the year. GW just 5 of 12 from the stripe this season. This a 2-point Fordham lead, 63-61, 2:54 to go. Bamasil ready to attempt the free throw. And then a whistle as the officials needed to confirm that it was 2 shots as opposed to the 1-and-1. Bamasil, a couple of bounces, eyeing up the Fordham student section. His first, back heel and off.
And you just have to wonder, did that ref, blowing that whistle, ice Bamasil missing that free throw?
5 of 13 from the free throw line for George Washington today. Bamasil with 9 points on 3 of 8 from the field, averages 16 a game, knocks down the second, and George Washington within 1, 63-62 Fordham. Down to the wire here in the final 2:45. Right arc roam Charlton, flip to a curling Rose, straight on Quisenberry. Charlton with possession back, guarded by Bishop. Head of the key for Ohams, back to the basket, guarded by Lindo. 12 to shoot, far corner shot fake. Cologne Navarro on the baseline, lays it up, it goes down. Josh Cologne Navarro into double figures on senior day. Fordham by 3, 65-62, 2:20 to go. Far side Lindo, jab step guarded by Ohams. Shoulder high possession, twisting away Adams. Up top with 15 to shoot. Bishop straight away, ram portion of the logo with 8 points today on 3 of 11 from the field. Screen left Lindo, straight away, step back 3. Back heel and off, free throw line rebound for Josh Cologne Navarro. That 3 attempt for Bishop would have tied the game.
And the defense from OM's using all of that 6'9" to contest on Bishop, forcing the miss.
Flip for Cologne Navarro. Fordham with the basketball, leading by 3, 65-62 in the final minute 40. Quisenberry stop at the right elbow. A10 Stamp backing down, looking for an outlet. Right arc Cologne Navarro. Screen right, Ohams doesn't use it with 4 to shoot and 3. Cologne Navarro flips it up, knocked away through the baseline. And a shot clock violation ruled by the official underneath the basket. Fordham wanted a foul on their far sideline. The basketball clearly did not make it to the rim as it was blocked away. And now the officials are going to go to the monitor on the far side of the court at the scorer's table to check if Cologne Navarro's floater was knocked to the ground with any time remaining on the shot clock. 1:28 remaining in the second half. Fordham 65, George Washington 62.
That last possession, GW, great job pressuring Fordham. You know, you look to get it to Chuba Ohams inside, flush it to him. They were not able to do so. They took that out of the equation. Navarro trying to get that shot up. We'll see if there's any time and Fordham catches the break, but I'm not sure if they're going to call it.
Out of the review, a shot clock violation is ruled. Fordham has had a tough time today with getting the basketball off with the shot clock winding down. That's the third time they have turned it over on a shot clock violation today. George Washington with the basketball trailing by 3. 65-62, Fordham 1:28 to go. The Rams looking to secure the 9th seed in the A10 tournament next weekend. Bishop across the midline, working on Kyle Rose. Left arc Rome. Straightaway Bamisil for the tie. Nowhere close off the backboard. Right arc rebound for Antrell Charlton. Straightaway block F portion of the logo. Final 1:10 to go second half. Fordham by 3 with the basketball, and Kyle Neptune is going to ask for a timeout.
And there's not a day of the week where Fordham won't take Bamisil taking that shot. Ton of time on the shot clock, hand in his face, deep contested 3. Doesn't get any of the back iron there. Now Fordham up 3, minute 10 left, has a chance to ice this Nick with a good possession, taking down the shot clock and getting a basket.
GW scoreless in the last 2 minutes. And Fordham with a possession upcoming. If they can convert, that might go a long way toward icing this game with a 3-point lead. 1:11 on the second half clock, and with Fordham setting things up out of the timeout, I have a guess about where they might try and find the basketball here.
It has to start and stop with Chuba Ohams. Any way you're able to create him with the basketball, you do so, whether that's some cuts, some off-the-ball screens. Get creative here, because Ohams, it's been his game, and he deserves a chance to try to ice it.
23 points to go with 16 rebounds on senior day. The final outing for Chuba Ohams at the Rose Hill Gym, and he's going out with a bang. Straightaway Charlton, Fordham by 3, final minute. Yo-yo dribble, straightaway Ohams, Lindo Jr. the defense. Far corner pass for Cologne Navarro, 8 to shoot and 7. Wheeling around, A10 Stamp stop, fall away free throw line. Front rim off, Lindo Jr. the center of the paint rebound. That not the shot Fordham was looking for. Freeman, the hesitation left arc, screen right straight away, defended by Ohams. Right arc Freeman, who's got just 3-point second half. Possession poked, a foul called on Chuba Ohams reaching in. It's Ohams' 3rd, Fordham's 9th. And it will send Brayon Freeman to the free throw line shooting 1-1. And Ohams seemingly got a lot of ball on that one, but is called for the foul regardless.
You like the aggression there, and regardless, you know, it's Ohams on a guard, so not the greatest matchup in the first off. Unfortunately for him, unable to get to the goal. Freeman now with critical free throw opportunity.
80% from the line this season, his first. Back heel and off. Charlton clears for the center of the paint board. GW 6 of 14 from the stripe today. Bounce by Charlton, Quisenberry across the midline, settles possession, block F portion of the logo. right arc roam, fouled from behind by Adams. GW taking a long time to get the foul with the shot clock turned off, and Darius Quisenberry to the free throw line to put Fordham up by 2 possessions if he can hit them.
And how about the job of Quisenberry tiptoeing, that sideline there. Looked like it nearly went out of bounds a few times. Keen dribbling there, bring it up the court and getting fouled.
Timeout called by George Washington. They have 1 remaining and the final 21.4 in the second half. Fordham a 65-62 lead, looking for a split in the season series with George Washington and to get out of the Rose Hill Gym with a W on Senior Day. The Rams scoreless in the last 2:08. George Washington scoreless in the last 2:32. And this defensive stalemate is exactly where Fordham wants to live.
It plays perfectly to their strengths. Force GW to take bad shots, get ugly, get gritty. That's how this team has played all year. So the comfortability being in this spot where points aren't flying off the board, that is how Fordham excels.
Darius Quisenberry with 16 points today. We'll head to the free throw line shooting 1 and 1, an 80% free throw shooter on the year. Is 4 of 4 from the stripe this afternoon. His first. Front rim and off. Left block rebound for Adams. It stays a 1-possession game. Shot clock turned off. Freeman across the midline stripe. Fordham will foul. Charlton reaching in before Freeman could get rid of the basketball. It's Charlton's 3rd and Fordham's 10th. And with 13.9 seconds remaining, Fordham with 3-point advantage and not allowing GW to take the shot for the tie.
And they've shown they're a foul up 3 team all year. But in this game, when GW is shooting 6 for 15, 40% from the free throw line, that is absolutely the right call.
Freeman, the first. Back heel and off. 6 for 16 from the free throw line today. This for a team that shoots it at 70% on the year. Freeman, his second, bangs in. Fordham by 2, 65-63, 13.9 remaining. Bounce for Cologne Navarro, speeding across the midline to the left arc and is fouled around the waist from behind by James Bishop, trailing. Check it, it'll go to Freeman, who picks up his 4th. And George Washington's 10th. Josh Cologne Navarro to the free throw line shooting 2. And Freeman with the 4 fouls in the final 10 seconds. Cologne Navarro's first is good.
And I'm surprised at how easily GW let Josh Cologne Navarro take the ball up. He's the team's best free throw shooter, 87%, and they allowed him to get all the way into the front court here with the basketball.
Cologne Navarro, the Fordham lead is 3, make it 4. Fordham 67, George Washington 63. Cologne Navarro checks out. He's got 13 points. Across the midline, Freeman speeding far sideline, straight away to the goal on the baseline run, lays it in with the right. It's a 2-point game. Fordham 67, George Washington 65. A left to the goal inbound for Antrell Charlton and a timeout called by Kyle Neptune. Fordham has 1 remaining with 6.5 seconds on the second half clock, in front by 2.
And Fordham basically giving him that 2 there, just trying to eliminate any chance and then taking a 3. The way that Bishop, the way that Bamisell have been able to shoot throughout the year, with any contest, I get the call there. Let him score very easily, no contest at the rim whatsoever.
Fordham 6.5 seconds away from a Senior Day victory and a split in the season series with George Washington. Rams seemingly a trip to the free throw line and knocking them down away from achieving that. And nailing down the 9th seed in the A-10 tournament next week. And you know that the Rams in that huddle are pulling to come away with a victory with the way that their seniors have come out and played this afternoon. Chuba Ohams 23, 16, and 5. Josh Colon-Navarro with 13 points and 3 rebounds.
You have to give them all the credit in the world because they stepped up when the lights were the biggest on them. Colon-Navarro, I don't think we've highlighted enough the job that he's on. 13, hitting some big free throws down the stretch. The experience of these two has been crucial as Fordham, tries to take this one in crunch time.
Antrell Charlton, Darius Quisenberry, Kyle Rose, Josh Colon-Navarro, and Chuba Ohams, the 5 on the floor for the Rams out of the timeout. In the final 6.5 seconds, with Fordham in front by 2, 67-65. Left of the goal, inbound for Charlton. Feeds Rose in the far corner, fouled by Adams with 5.2 seconds remaining. Brendan Adams picking up his 4th in the final 5 seconds. And Kyle Rose now headed to the free throw line with a chance to once again make it a 2-possession game with 5 seconds remaining.
And Rose, a guy that with his play style doesn't get many chances at the free throw line, but an 84% free throw shooter this season.
His first. Front rim, backboard, and falls in. Fordham by 3, 68-65. 5.2 seconds remaining. Rose's second. Front rim and off, right block rebound ripped away GW, and a timeout immediately by Jamion Christian with 4.8 seconds remaining. It stays a 1-possession game. Rose 1 out of 2. GW, if they can get a shot off, a chance to tie it up.
And we know the job that GW has done at the free throw line, but Fordham on the other end, especially this last kind of 5 minutes, they're giving them chances. They're getting them into this game, not going 2 for 2 from the line nearly enough, and Kyle Rose missing that second one just opens the door just a bit for the Colonials.
Fordham 70% from the free throw line today, 14 of 20. GW 7 of 17. And as Fordham showed on the previous sequence, went up by 3 when GW had possession, would imagine you would see a foul here again.
And now the key is, though, with only 4.8 seconds, you got to get really quick. You cannot let them get into the act of shooting. So if you're going to foul, you have to be smart and do it right away if you're Fordham.
Rams have been so good at executing on the defensive end of the floor this season, trying to do that again as the regular season finale winds down from the packed Rose Hill Gym. George Washington, one of their last 5 from the field, but are just one big bucket away from tying this thing up. 2 teams that are likely tired in this last 5 seconds. GW coming off a 3 overtime game. Fordham 3 games in a week. Dean right of the goal inbound. The over the head pass. Bamisil a foot in front of the midline. Flips it up, but a foul called on the floor. Kyle Rose well before Bamisil pulled up and ended up hitting the 25-foot runner. But Charlton doing exactly as you said, Ryan, fouling early and sending Bamisil to the free throw line. The final 3 seconds, Fordham up by 3.
And still crucial, 1.8 seconds came off the clock. So now if you're Fordham, this clock is absolutely your friend.
Bamisil, a couple of bounces, his first. Goes down. Joe Bamisil to 11 points. And Fordham's lead is 2. Zach Riley will check in for the Rams. Breon Freeman will head out. With Amir Harris coming in. Bamisil second. The quick free throw attempt off back heel, and a lane violation called on George Washington. The Colonials trying to catch Fordham napping on a miss and a quick putback. But George Washington too quick into the lane.
And Bamisil ran that to perfection, right? That was a perfect opportunity for a putback. So fortunately for Fordham, GW is the one who was caught lacking.
3 seconds remaining. Fordham by 2, 68-66. Left of the goal, inbound Charlton with 3 seconds. And Kyle Neptune, after Charlton pumped once, is going to call timeout. That his final timeout of the second half.
And a wise one there because nothing was developing. GW, great pressure on the inbound. You cannot take the risk of the 5-second violation. You have the timeout in your back pocket, and you have to use it right there.
Fordham 68, George Washington 66. The Rams led by as many as 12 today. GW climbing back after the second half Fordham surge. And Fordham well positioned to close this thing out on senior day, but needing one last inbound and perhaps some free throws to nail it down. Does bear mentioning that both teams are now out of timeouts would make it difficult for GW.
And you'd absolutely prefer them to make the free throws. We've seen throughout this year some chaotic opportunities in Fordham games. It's came down to the free throw line. Do not want to give GW, even if it's a half quarter, a chance to tie this game.
Long pass ahead, over the shoulder grab. Quisenberry lays it in, and Fordham a 4-point lead. The long ball by Antrell Charlton. Time expires. And Darius Quisenberry with the lay-in closes out a 4-point Fordham victory on senior day. The Rams execute in the final seconds. Chuba Ohams leads them to it. 23 points, 16 rebounds, and 5 assists. And the Rams are the 9th seed in the A-10 tournament next week. 70-66, the final from the Rose Hill Gym.
And can I just say, Nick, that final pass by Antrell Charlton, football pass across the court, confusing my sports here. What a play call for the Rams to seal this.
A 4-point victory for Fordham. The one-on-one post-game report starts now.
The one-on-one post-game report.
Nick DeLuca, Ryan Gregware here with you from the Rose Hill Gym. Fordham 70, George Washington 66. The final as the Rams close out a win in their regular season finale, celebrating senior day, and it was a celebration for Chuba Ohams and Josh Colon Navarro, leading the Rams to a 4-point victory, closing it out in the final minutes. Our pleasure to be joined by Fordham Associate Head Coach Keith Ergo. Coach, you guys were able to work through it after building a big-time lead toward the front end of the second half. But the story of this game, Chuba Ohams on his senior day, 23 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists. I'd say he had a pretty good day at the office.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And the funny thing is, it's been pretty much a stat line for the last, the entire Atlantic 10 season and really the season. I mean, the kid has been a dream to coach this year. I wish he had another year. But you know what? Credit to him. Credit to them for fighting back. They could have folded. They hit 2 big threes on a couple of defensive breakdowns, which got him back in. But obviously, Chuba, when he plays like that, we believe he's the best big man in this league and one of the best big men in the country. And honestly, we're going to need that type of effort for every single game if we want to advance next week. So I'm really happy for him at home to close out that way. And same thing with Josh. To hit those 2 free throws was huge. So really proud of him.
Coach, you guys came out of that second half on a 14-3 run, held GW to just 1 basket the first 7+ minutes in that half. What went into the halftime adjustments to be able to make GW uncomfortable?
Yeah, you know what? We wanted to wear them out in the first half. As you saw, we were picking them up, and they were getting to the rim. Kid Freeman's really talented. We wanted to take away Bamasil, and we wanted to take away Bishop. We did a tremendous job of that, and he made us pay. He did some really good things getting to the basket. He's an unbelievable finisher, so what we did was we wanted to just back it up, play within the scoring area to start the second half, and just keep him in front of us. And obviously, Coach Neptune did a tremendous job getting that through to our players. They executed that for a good portion of the second half, and I thought that really damaged them. They didn't get easy buckets. They had to work for everything, and eventually we wore some of their legs out.
After the loss on Wednesday, we talked about how you felt like the defense could have been a little bit sharper, that there were some areas that needed to be improved. You guys hold George Washington to 42% from the field. Bamasil and Bishop, the top backcourt in the A-10, to a combined 19 points. What was the key for you guys defensively today?
Yeah, you know what? It was just communication. We had a breakdown there during that little run that they went on in the second half. when we're playing together and we're communicating, we can defend at a very, very high level. And honestly, that is our bread and butter. We have to be able to defend and rebound. And I thought, again, the first time we played them, they really did some damage on the offensive glass in the first half. They did not get very many second chance opportunities, so that was a key for us. Communication on their screen action, and then obviously one and done, and I thought we did a tremendous job executing.
Coach, obviously the next step now is the A-10 tournament. What can you take from this game, positives, negatives, heading into the next week in D.C.?
Yeah, just to continue to tell these guys, when we play for 40 minutes, we can beat anybody in this league. We've proven that. We got to be connected. On the road, in a neutral site, anything can happen. Season 0-0 right now, why not us?
Coach, appreciate the time. Congrats on the victory.
Thanks, fellas.
Fordham wins it 70-66 over George Washington. They finish their A-10 schedule at 8-10. What a first year under head coach Kyle Neptune, closing out with a thrilling victory on Senior Day. And the story is, we've talked about all along, it was Chuba Ohams. What a performance. It's his final opportunity to go out and play on the Rose Hill gym floor, and he's going to leave these fans with a lasting impression.
And how about a 500 record, through conference play, through everything like that, for Fordham to be at 15-15? It's Chuba Ohams. He is the number one reason why, and for him to cap off his Rose Hill career like this, it speaks volumes to the player and the person he is. 23, 16, 5, and 3. You couldn't have asked for a better performance from your big man.
And in the spirit of getting things going, perhaps for the Atlantic 10 tournament, a really good sign for Darius Quisenberry to score 18 as well. A guy who has really transformed this offense. Fordham struggled mightily in their previous 6 games heading into this week. 3 games in to Quisenberry returning 70+ in all 3.
You really wondered what kind of impact he would have, with the injury, what percentage he can be playing at. Well, I don't know if it's 100, but what he's giving you right now, it is huge for this offense. It allows Chuba Ohams to, succeed the way he has. Allows everyone else to kind of have a little less pressure. Another great game for him with 18. He's going to be a must-have in this A-10 tournament for Fordham.
And the defense, the bread and butter for Fordham, holding Bambasil and Bishop to a combined 19 points. Yes, Breon Freeman was able to get going a little bit in that first half. But Fordham, if they defend that way, they can compete with anybody.
And these are 2 top 10 guys in scoring in the A-10, and they held them to a combined 6 for 21. So that's what Fordham's done all year. Obviously, this duo, a step above a lot of what they faced, but Fordham was up to the task here today, the defensive game plan, to take them out of it exactly how they executed here this afternoon.
Ryan Gregware, the final word. Next stop, Washington, D.C.
And you're going into this tournament, some high hopes. The 9 seed, you're projected to be 14th before the year. Coach Urgo said 0-0, why not us? I say why not? You keep that same mentality and you play every game like it's your last, because for the first time all season, Nick, it could be their last.
That'll wrap it up for us from the Rose Hill Gym on Senior Day. Chuba Ohams shines through, and Fordham a 4-point victory, 70-66 over George Washington. Back to our Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one post-game report with Brian Raybacks and Bridge Gotham.
A Senior Day victory as Fordham gets the win over George Washington, 70-66. We are back here in the Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one post-game report. I'm Brian Raybacks, joined alongside Bridge Gotham. And Bridge, it was an exciting finish, but Fordham able to get the job done down the stretch.
Definitely a nail-biter down the stretch there. It's all about hitting your free throws. And Fordham, of course, Darius Quisenberry laying it up at the very end to seal the deal. A 4-point win over GW, and Fordham at 500 for the first time in quite some time.
First time since the 2015-16 season.
Yeah, and first year under new head coach Cal Neptune, I think it goes to show just what he's been able to do in one short year and one short pandemic year. No fans for a large portion of the season. Finally getting them back today, you could feel the atmosphere in the Rose Hill Gym. Just great to see that.
Absolutely. The Rose Hill Gym was on fire today, and Fordham really led the charge by 2 of their seniors that they're honoring today. Chuba Ohams had a terrific game, 23, 16, and 5, another double-double. And Josh Cologne Navarro stepped up as well, 13 points and 3 rebounds. These 2 guys both showing how they've really been a huge part of this program for the last 4 years.
Oh, absolutely. Ohams and Cologne Navarro especially. I mean, they've been the job not only today, but what you mentioned, they helped build this program up, and, it was great to see them honored again in front of people today. They played in an empty gym for all of last year. Just, I think from their perspective, just to feel the love from Fordham's community must be great, and they were the reason why the Rams won today.
Absolutely. And Fordham, they got off to a really hot start at the start of the second half. They went on a 12-0 run, led by as much as 12, but George Washington got right back into it at the end, and it was looking close at the end. So what do you think made Fordham so successful down the stretch in helping close out the game despite the attempted comeback by George Washington?
Defense. I think they say offense wins games, defense wins championships. I mean, when you really look at the flow of the game, Fordham had a lead of they were up, I think, almost 11 or 12 points. I don't know if that's the exact number, but they had a double-digit lead midway through the second half, and I think normally teams get a little bit too comfortable, and I think Fordham was a victim of that today. George Washington came storming back, eventually tying it with just under 5 to go. And at that point, it was really just about, all right, who's going to play tougher defense? But neither team could really score in those last few minutes, missing shots. Tensions are high, so for Fordham to really come out on top there, playing, key defense down the stretch, and again, hitting your free throws. So it's the most important shot in all basketball.
Absolutely. And yeah, they're hitting a lot of free throws down the stretch and just pulling off the victory, and they get to 500. That's a huge mark for this program given the last couple of years. So what do you think a 15-15 record under the first year of Kyle Neptune means for this program?
Oh, it means so much. I think it starts from the top. Athletic director Ed Cole bringing in Kyle Neptune was just such a fantastic move. You see, he comes from a winning program at Villanova. He worked with Jay Wright, so he's clearly the right guy. Born and raised in New York. He has roots here. He can recruit. And in just his first season, you look, last year they won 2 games. This year they won 15 games. That's a huge difference. And already they have a bye in the A-10 tournament, something they have, a privilege they have not had in quite some time. And yeah, I think if you're a Fordham Rams fan, you should be very excited about the future with Neptune at the helm.
I think it's great what Neptune has done with this program, really turning it around, getting them to 500 for the first time since 2015, 2016. And he just brings a good environment. The players seem to love him. The fans, he seems to be a fan favorite. And he brings the winning background, as you mentioned. And he's just been a great all-around coach and really getting these guys to play well. So Kyle Neptune has done a terrific job. As Fordham is 15-15, and we can celebrate that. But you mentioned their season's not over yet. A-10 tournament play starts Wednesday. Fordham's first game will be on Thursday. So what can we look forward to there?
Well, we don't know who Fordham is playing just yet. Some more A-10 basketball later today that'll decide. But we do know that Fordham will probably be the 9 seed, so they'll be playing whoever the 8 seed is. I think for Fordham, they're going to go down to D.C. So, of course, GW, who they played today, won't have to go very far. Fordham, just a small trek down the East Coast. Not too far. Some teams got to go a little bit further. But I think Fordham can already feel good about the fact that they have that first-round bye. They know that they're already in more elite company that they've been in before. And I think that they've shown that they can compete with just about anyone.
Absolutely. And a huge win today over George Washington. And as we mentioned, the 500 record. So to kind of sum up this regular season, I would say that this is a huge success, and I think this program's in great hands with Kyle Neptune, and it's really shown that the future here is bright, and they're bringing a lot of great players back too. So I'm excited to see what Fordham can do in the A-10 tournament, but also beyond in the future in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself.
So that will do it for the one-on-one post-game report. Sports director of WFUV is Bobby Chaffardini. We'd like to thank John Martin and Coach Ergo for taking the time to talk with us at halftime and postgame. The A-10 tournament starts on Wednesday with Fordham slated to start tournament play on Thursday. The on-site producer of this broadcast was Mike Messina, with Thomas Aiello as the sideline reporter, and of course, Nick DeLuca and Ryan Gregware on the call. In studio, thanks to our producer Kayla Wenzel, Gokul Perugu on highlights, and Bridge Gotham with the updates. Once again, the final score of this game, Fordham 70, George Washington 66. From the Rose Hill Studios, I'm Brian Raybacks. Thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Fordham's Men Basketball is a production of WFUV Sports.